hours and hours sitting in that stupid little bike thing or whatever.
Right.
Not
I mean,
to
it
mention,
happens.
Not to mention, he's like pumping his legs, so there's tons of blood going through his legs in that position.
Come on, buddy. Can you move?
He cannot.
Can you please? Can you?
He's trying so hard to resist.
Come on, man. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you can't move him.
All right. I guess this is another one where Ulysses isn't on camera until the dog decides to go somewhere.
And he's not even on camera, for fuck's sake.
Link.
He's not.
There's your nose.
Just a little bit. All right. Well.
Animals.
Like I said, like we talked about, this is almost a test a little bit to see.
It fucking works for 5 minutes.
Can you get deep vein thrombosis in your penis?
What did you just say to me?
I think you can get deep vein thrombosis just about anywhere, but it's going to be more likely in places where you have more blood flow. So I guess if you're sitting there on the plane for 16 hours and you've got
maybe that's why they tell you to call if your erection lasts longer than 4 hours. Is like maybe the deep vein thrombosis is going to set in.
Here we go. There's your extra life thing. That was
thrombosis in the main vein.
What can I do?
Okay.
Just keeps getting stronger.
That axe, dude.
Till we meet again.
Get that axe.
Atreya, this way.
All right. Well, it's been a couple of weeks. It's been like 3 weeks.
Seems like Nidavelir's locked down because of us.
Outsiders.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, and for a game that's going to take forever for us to play.
Yeah, who knows what we'll get this.
I at this point I have finished it. I was homesick for 2 weeks. Me and Nadia did play through this, so I know where we're going story wise. But which is why at any time you are free to take over and play.
I mean, for me, video games are always about the story. Not that I don't like to play them, but
for sure,
get about the same out of it. You playing it or me playing it.
Yeah, right. No, that's
Yeah, I always like a balance, so it depends on the game.
Go knock on some doors.
Sorry to bother you.
Otherwise, video games that I personally play are just void of story and just
well, you're playing
on the strategy.
You're playing with spreadsheets half the time. Yeah, no, she's not coming out. You done yet? You're gonna give up? Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like you're strictly on dad games now.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's kind of how you've always been.
Those have kind of always
not that you don't play anything else ever, but that you've always been into those kinds of strategy, military kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe you
I mean, those are fun sometimes.
Well, there was what was the one you showed me not too long ago that was really fucking complicated?
Oh, EU4.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that game, and every time they patch that game, it just gets more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the fact that you could start as literally any country
over the course of 400 years.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
The amount of variation. Well, I thought that would actually be fun to play on the stream, maybe, because we could pick really nonsensical fights and just see what, because the significance of how detailed the political ramifications are, and the way that the countries interact. I mean, that's just it's so intricate that I think you could actually get some pretty funny, actual good comedy scenarios out of just making weird decisions for the sake of it.
I always like watching, because there are a decent amount of YouTubers that stream it. One of the hardest things you can do in the game is dismantle the Holy Roman Empire. You have to become the head elector of the Holy Roman Empire, and then you have to fight every other elector in the Holy Roman Empire and then beat them and dismantle it. But it is funny every time it is dismantled, just to watch all the other countries come in and consume all these tiny little German cities. France just goes nuts and just takes the entire western half of Germany every time it happens.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm talking. I bet there's so many weird
Well, the best streams are like, and some of those accomplishments are almost impossible to do. So you basically just watch people who are really good at it do it on YouTube. But it's always fun to watch people bring back countries that haven't existed in forever.
Right.
Like, if you manage to like get enough of those territories in and do certain things, change like cultures of regions and stuff, you can bring back all sorts of weird countries. Like I saw a guy bring Nubia back. I thought that was pretty interesting. Cool. Or you can bring back the Mongol Empire. It's very difficult because you have to conquer all of China, the Middle East, and Russia. But if you manage to do that, you can unite them and bring back the Mongol. You can bring back the Mongol Empire, provided you're like a steppe tribal. Like you begin as a steppe tribal nation. Like you couldn't do that as like Austria and be like, we're forming the Mongol Empire now.
Was some sort of rebellion leader.
Fucking pots.
Was being the key word here, little brother.
I don't know.
I
think the funniest of those games you could play on stream is probably Crusader Kings.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's made by the same studio, but there are different gameplay elements because it's the time period before EU4 starts, like really the Dark Ages, Middle Ages kind of time period.
Right.
But you spend a lot of time on your court, which is something you don't do in EU4, like on your kids and on like developing a royal line and all kind of the diplomatic stuff that goes in that. You can do some really weird stuff with your family.
Interesting. Okay.
Like
that's something we're going to ignore because it's like
gotta skip it.
I mean, this would take us like an hour and a half probably to do this entire thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Over here,
we gotta
be...
deal with like fucking like Viking HPP over there.
It looks like through that open gate to the left.
Yes, Atreus, I know.
Okay, but if you in Crusader Kings,
which way do we go?
if you marry. Because, I mean, like, it's all royal family stuff, so there are some real benefits to only marrying within the family as far as...
So like, you can make, like, an entire, like, incestuous fucking...
And they start looking real inbred after a while. Ooh. You go down enough generations and they start looking for, like, they start getting the weak chins and they start having, like, birth defects and stuff.
It's not good.
And being insane. Yeah, that's definitely
being insane is definitely not good.
But that's a trade-off because there are benefits as far as like keeping control of territories and stuff of not marrying outside the family. But then you start getting like personal debuffs on your leaders and stuff because they're inbred and have like mental and physical malformalities and stuff like that.
That does seem like if it was like the three of us playing one of those together and just making chaotically random decisions.
I'd like to just make like a custom nation and just go crazy. You make like Springfield from The Simpsons. Try to make like two size. Just
that would be hilarious.
Fill up all of Middle America.
Yeah, this is your fucking thing, Atreus. You fucking talk to the guy.
Who's this gnome supposed to be?
He's
dwarf.
He's the guy Sidri and Brock sent us to go find. He's like a rebellion leader that worked with the mom at one point.
Yeah, I got no beef with dwarves. Fine.
I mean, what makes a dwarf significantly different than a gnome?
They mine. They're great.
Mine.
No, they don't.
Took 9 minutes.
Little gems and stuff like that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Who says?
I don't know. Lots of stories.
I think your coloring book, I think, said that.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your scientifically verified coloring book.
Aren't you excited for Michael to like bring that back finished?
Just fully illustrated.
It's gonna look good.
I don't know. I don't remember it talking about them and gems and stuff like that. But like, I mean, dwarves have done significant things in fantasy. There are cool.
They're craftsmen.
Cool
They
dwarves. They're
make
craftsmen.
stuff.
They make stuff. They dig out incredible mines. They're great at architecture. You know, Mines of Moria style and shit like that. Like.
Well, maybe if Gnomes had done that, it would have been better.
If Gnomes did that, I wouldn't have a problem with them. My
'Cause they would have
problem
done
with Gnomes
something.
is that they've never done it.
Except for take other creatures' jobs.
Yeah.
They are
They
the
are.
scabs of.
They are slowly becoming the new general purpose holiday critter, I guess.
I'm not in the business of trusting the
Yep.
good father anymore.
I don't know. There's lots of like fantasy stuff where like gnomes are like inventors and
Is there?
gadgeteers and stuff.
Is there?
I'm trying to. I mean, like, I'm not saying that there isn't. I just don't remember any of those.
Like Warcraft or like I don't know. Aren't they that in Dungeons and Dragons? I don't fucking know.
Though you named two of the few corners of pop culture that I really don't know anything about.
I don't know. I mean, in Dungeons and Dragons, like, I feel like all the races of creatures can be just about anything. Like, you just kind of create your own character.
But they still have like their background culture, don't they?
Like the
That
stuff
I
they're
don't-
naturally good at.
I don't.
Like the elves are still Tolkien ripoffs, and like the dwarves still live underground, and
I mean, a lot of it is
Yeah,
just Tolkien ripoff.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, oh yeah, fantasy's been a Tolkien ripoff as
Since
long
Tolkien.
as Tolkien's
Exactly.
existed.
Hey there.
So what about get out of my office? Don't you understand?
If this was Kratos from the old games, he'd literally go, "Listen here, you little fuck," and just reach over the
He'd
table.
make that guy eat that book.
He'd make him eat that book. And then he'd make him eat half of it and then jam the other half up his ass. Kratos, that guy would be fucking dead for talking that way to Kratos.
Yeah.
And Kratos would probably light the whole building on fire on the way out just for the fuck of it.
Hey, this isn't.
Oh shit, we just got raided. By Horton.
What?
Horton, hello, thank you.
Hey, Horton, how's it going?
How
man?
you doing? Welcome in, everybody coming in with Horton. Hope you're all having an awesome time. We have had internet issues. I will just give everyone a fair warning. So
could die
there's a
anytime.
possibility of this crashing. But
So far, so good.
far so good. We'll see what happens, I guess. Yeah, Horton, how you doing, man?
Boy.
He forced you back here.
Oh man.
Oh, they got monkeys over there.
We should,
Oh, there's monkeys.
we should treat your
Yeah, where's
viewers
the monkeys?
a little more kindly, Horton.
Yeah, send him
Subjecting
to
them
such
to
a
us.
horrible place. I guess. God. Held bunny obsession. First time.
Are you obsessed with bunnies?
I mean, they're pretty cute. Doom Guy's whole motivation in the Doom franchise is
Yeah, the demons killed
the
his bunny.
demons killed his bunny, right?
I think that was specifically his motivation in Doom 2.
In Doom 2.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the Doom Slayer in the chat.
Could be.
And wigglers.
I don't.
What are wigglers?
That I'm not
Yeah,
entirely
not
sure which
sure.
you mean.
Worms? Snakes? Those wiggle. Demogorgon?
My cat wiggles quite a bit, so I mean, maybe that's
Not as much as that cat in that Shaq gif,
What did you just say?
though. In that, you've never seen that gif of like Shaq wiggling
Oh,
around and then the
yes,
cat's wiggling?
yes, I have.
Like, that's the wiggliest cat I've
That's
ever seen.
MHW.
MHW. I don't know that acronym off the best endemic life. I am personally unfamiliar. Not too shabby, guys. Hope you're well, Horton. We are, I think, doing pretty good.
Monster Hunter World. Oh.
Oh.
I have not played it, so I do not know that.
I that's what that is totally what I am unfamiliar with.
Get 'em.
Yeah, we had previously established that these are what will eventually evolve into lizard people.
Yeah, these are the reptilians that'll take over the government.
Well, these are like proto-reptilians.
Yeah.
These are like these are to
Actually, you wanna
reptilians
pull up a
as
picture of 'em?
chimpanzees are to us. A picture of what?
MHWs
wigglers
from Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, sure. Let's check them out.
We might as well. We might as well see it.
Wigglers.
But no, Horton, we're doing good. I don't know how long you want to stick around, Horton, because I know you don't want any spoilers for this one.
Oh, those things are cute.
Wait until the PC version comes out.
Oh, interesting. It's sort of like a...
Let me see. Oh yeah, okay.
It's like the Pokemon version of the Loch Ness Monster's head on a human body.
Weird.
That is, that fits. That fits.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's like cute anime Loch Ness monsters,
Yeah.
which isn't really a thought that I ever
but
had
kind of
before.
like anthropomorphized.
I just hurt myself with that.
It's sort of like like a fucking like Victorian era doll that are locked in his monster head.
I can see that. Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, there's another one over here.
What's your right?
Oh, there you are.
They have a wiglet.
Wiglet.
Called a wiglet. That's getting a little too close to like Juggalo lingo for me to be totally comfortable with it.
Is that actually?
What?
Is wiglet a Juggalo term?
Is that?
Well, you got Juggalos and Juggalettes. It's like you got Wigglers and
I don't know, it
Wigglets.
just makes me think of what was that fucking Pokemon, like Diggler or something?
Diglett.
Diglett. That
Yeah,
was it.
Diglett.
Yeah.
So that seems pretty close to that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I mean, that seems seems like Pokemon name.
I was just saying, Pokemon names are lazy.
Well, yeah,
at least the
definitely.
Pokemon used to be based on animals. They're like ice cream cones and toasters.
And
now.
lawnmowers.
Yeah.
The lawnmower is a grass type, don't forget.
There's
what
It's a
type?
grass type Pokemon.
Oh, that
There
doesn't
is
make
just
any
a-
sense. That's like the antithesis of a grass type Pokemon.
There's at least one Pokemon like that. No, not the same, but the names are very similar.
Yeah, I feel like I get them mixed up all the time.
Yeah.
I'm sure they look nothing alike, but still.
But yeah, the names are still very much alike. But no, there was one Pokemon that was a
Okay.
similar. There is a Pokemon that's that's just like literally a trash can. there's literally a trash can Pokemon.
I believe that.
Anything stupid, there's a
I think I
Pokemon
see
up now.
something.
Well, like it's like once upon a time they all felt like
Most of them fell.
Okay, so I mean, it is a lot like a Diglett.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty late.
is that really not related, or is it like that? Because that looks like it'd be an evolution.
But if you don't spell Wiglet with 2 T's, you just
Trubbish and Garbodor.
You
are
just
those
get
trash
ads.
Pokemon?
Yep.
That's what it sounds like.
if you don't Google Wiglet with the 2 T's, what you get instead are small wigs.
Oh,
Oh my god.
that's helpful in case you
Not
don't need
really.
a Wiglet.
It's a Wiglet.
What if you need a
It's-
Wiglet for your Wiglet?
I don't know.
I think you need a condom for your Wiglet.
I bet in Pokemon that's what they bring out in sex ed.
Now this
demonstrations.
this gravestone here,
Yeah.
we don't have access to this yet, but this is like the optional Valkyrie bosses from the last game,
Yeah,
and
fuck
they're berserker warriors, which is a thing, yeah, right, in Norse mythology.
Right.
That's like spirits of berserker warriors. So how's it, my guys? I'm trying to keep spoiler free, but couldn't not read. Well, you know what? I will tell you at least that this is incredibly early in the game.
Yep.
And there's almost. I mean, there's stuff has happened, but there's nothing like really big or significant yet. Horton is a traitor. Is he?
Are we on a train?
Yeah, we're on a little train,
Alright.
a little miniature train.
Yeah,
But
see how
the game is
industrious
great.
these dwarves are, dude?
I do think the game is great. I have finished the whole thing off stream.
Well, there's
already.
one thing that dwarves don't do.
What?
Fuck you in the ass.
Yeah, it's a major plus in the dwarf
Understand, gnomes are pretty industrious when it comes to a little downstairs action,
Yeah,
right?
Well, they mine.
they are kind of-
mine in a different way.
Yeah.
disgusting pervert. No, it's like, yeah.
But I don't know why you keep letting them into your.
Oh, you
asshole.
played that without it. Oh, that's like your co-op game.
Oh,
Fair
yeah.
enough. Okay.
All right.
It's messed up.
Was that what you were just playing, or just streaming, or what were you just doing? Damn, look at that. The Vista shots in these games are always really impressive.
We got up
Yeah,
for again?
definitely.
Odin won't have time to worry about us.
If that is his war to fight, he may have it.
Fucking Ravens. I don't know. Oh, should I bother? Should I bother with it? Should I
You
try?
get anything to do in it? There you go.
Forgetting all 48 of them.
48, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, honestly, if you do it just as you go and as you come across them,
You get
do
a lot of them.
You do all. Yeah, I'd say I like just playing through the game. I probably got like 32 or like over 30 of them just through. Like I would say, I would have only had to go back and find like 10. Like actually search. Oh, I guess that was it. Oh, okay, they're just next to each other. But I also, I guess I don't know how long you want to stick around though, because I spoilers will happen.
A bomb.
Deactivated, but yes.
Can't wait for the sun. Yeah,
Someone set
Sony
us up the bomb.
has started to put a lot of its games on PC, like a lot of its exclusive stuff on PC. I think we're going to be moving to a point where PC as a platform has access to like all the exclusives.
I can see that.
I think we're slowly because
Well, I think
Uncharted's on PC now. God of War's on PC. I think The Last of Us
Yeah.
remake might have. What's that?
with the
Mortal Kombat games are on PC now too.
Well, that was never a PlayStation exclusive though.
I know, it's just, it's an unusual thing.
That is true though. Yeah, that franchise was never.
But with the advantages that Microsoft already has with PC gaming, it probably is wise on Sony.
Yeah,
not
that's
to seed the entire ecosystem.
That is a big crocodile almost.
Well, is it a crocodile or an alligator?
I guess I don't know which one it would be closer to.
You have to examine its snout. I think you punched it too many times.
Well, I'm sure that once we've killed it, we can like.
There will be a description.
Oh yeah, I suppose because it probably disappears. But...
They got a lot of crocodiles up in Norway.
Do they?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say I had never heard about that.
No.
So that's an interesting thing to have in a Viking mythology.
Yeah,
setting.
no,
Do they- well, are
alligators and crocodiles require,
Heat.
the heat. Yeah, at least subtropical climates. They don't move too far north or south. Although the saltwater crocodiles in Australia both are fairly far south, but the environment in Australia is also kind of strange.
Yeah, it's pretty warm down there.
Australia's fucking. I mean,
Australia's
there's so many things that
very
would kill you.
warm for how far south it is, for sure.
Yeah, also Harden, I think this. I'm willing to bet this is like 1 year between the PlayStation version and the PC version being released.
Well,
I mean, it made
you.
it made its. That's why we buy those resurrection stones.
I don't know, I mean, could we just like Steve Irwin this thing? Just like wrestle it?
Do you really think Kratos is capable of just Steve Irwining?
I think he is.
He
Actually.
is kind of Steve Irwining it right now.
But
I've seen Steve Irwin.
But we're killing
Not
it,
kill it though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't remember this Steve Irwin.
No,
shit.
this is not
yeah,
Steve
when he was
Irwin.
holding its mouth closed, that's what Steve Irwin would do.
I wouldn't feel so bad about his death if he had been doing that to crocodiles.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone would have.
Is that Dracula who killed the first one we found?
If so, it was
That's one of my favorite jokes in South Park is when it's Satan's Super Sweet 16 and then Steve Irwin shows up with the stingray in his chest and he's like, whoa man, too soon. It's like, no Satan, it's me, Steve Irwin. He's like, oh, you gotta have a costume, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, Horton just resubscribed again. Thank you, Horton.
So
How is that?
generous.
That's 14 months in a row now.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of your longest running ones, isn't it?
Like the single longest, or maybe T-Bone.
is not the only.
But I think that one's been more off and on. So I think I think the single longest subscription we've had.
You should make them fight for your favor.
What? Like the Joker and just drop the pool cue in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
There's only one position open.
Can I not? I can't have that yet, I guess.
Oh, Kratos could totally jump that.
Yeah, he too. Oh, wait, hold on. Haha. Just around the corner. Yeah, well, that's one new thing at Horton. Between the games that isn't has nothing to do with the story.
What,
There's
crocodiles?
What's that?
Crocodiles?
No,
I just said the fact that there's more.
Blades of chaos.
Oh,
Yeah, like you're just using the blades to traverse the environment a little bit more because you did a lot of that in the originals. So that's just a cool thing to bring back. I think have it on auto sub, so I don't. But that is awesome, Horton. Like we also have Horton on auto sub too, so we're getting each other back.
You can just run past them. Oh, hey, what'd they kill?
Oh, that's like a hive they're coming out of. Yeah, way more of that. Oh, and then also, way more enemy variety. I think because that was a complaint with the first game. That was a bigger. Hey,
those little guys take down a troll.
An ogre because he's not a people.
Ogre, troll, same thing.
He got layers.
Well, and now who's being offensive about their ogres?
Trolls are just ogres that hang out on the internet.
No, they're definitely. Trolls are bigger. They've got the horns and those big stone.
Yeah, who's being racist now? So.
I'm saying the one saying that they're not the same.
All I know is
I'm
saying that they're equal.
Ogres got layers.
I didn't say they weren't equal.
Yeah,
I just said they were different.
Weren't.
No, I said they were different.
They got horns.
Literally visually different. God damn it.
Wow.
Trollger. Yeah.
Trollger.
That's right.
Is that what happens when a troll and an ogre mate? That's what you get?
Like a liger?
Yeah.
I can see that. I don't know. All I know is ogres got layers.
Oh, come on, man. This is what it's like moving furniture with a teenager.
Wait, I meant my life.
Jesus Christ.
Keep going.
I feel like this would be the end if their
So
car
close.
broke down.
Just a little to the left.
Back to the left now? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright.
Round 2. Here we go.
No, that's seriously, that is a real experience, man. Moving furniture with somebody who doesn't, or not even a kid necessarily, but just somebody that doesn't really understand. Yeah, how to move around in this space. Troll deer like in TF2.
Diener.
Trollger.
Yeah, covered in algae.
Oh, in Team Fortress 2, Ulysses 2.
Yeah, I don't really know that. Right?
I
know the game, and I know, but
yeah, I just never.
We came here looking for tears.
Sounds like a mythical
game.
out there.
If you think about it, war could. Uh-oh.
Some monkeys?
Goddamn monkeys always messing with our train.
Those lizard monkeys.
I do like how quickly Kratos reacts to just fucking hitting things.
It only would have been better if that thing had flown out the window in one punch.
Tell me when!
Atreus, look for a break to stop the train. Should be a lever of some sort.
Found it! The brake stop!
Keep trying, little brother.
Father!
Stop this train!
Kratos must hate these fucking things.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, yes, but just crawling all over him, fucking being.
The lever?
Yeah, the lever just broke when he pulled on it. So, how do you guys think they're going to manage to have action scenes in Indiana Jones 5?
Well, he's being de-aged, which I found pretty unsettling in The Irishman.
Wrong lever, Kronk.
So I'm not sure.
See, now that was a troll. See how much bigger it was?
Oh, well, maybe that's just an ogre that's been working out.
No, they're different. They're different. They're different things.
Well, what if the troll's just a kind of ogre?
Are you serious?
Maybe in another thing, just not in this thing. No, in this specific game.
Have you gone that guy's like Ancestry.com to see like how many trolls and ogres are in a
Do you
family?
think that guy is on Ancestry.com?
I do, in fact.
You know, somebody once told me
that the world was gonna roll me. Get out of here, you fucker.
Didn't you tell me you didn't think Shrek was a people?
Yeah, an ogre. People means human.
Yeah, but like people.
I don't care if it sounds like I'm being picky about the words, but
I don't know, man. If it talks and if it's sentient or sapient, really, then I'd say it counts.
What would you call
He wouldn't be a human, but he'd still be a people.
Yeah, he's a person.
But
if we made an AI that was as smart as a human, you would call it a person.
Would you?
Atomic Heart looks dope.
Oh, I think Atomic Heart looks fucking awesome. I cannot wait for that. That looks so. That looks like somebody really truly following in the footsteps of BioShock. Finally, like someone finally doing something that doesn't feel like a ripoff.
Yeah.
But
There's
like
been a lot of those.
There have because there's been quite a few of those. But it really feels like someone it's looked at what BioShock is doing and it's like we can do our own thing, while feeling like a spiritual
Well, and then
kind of successor in some ways.
talk about like how iconic that 50s, 60s Soviet aesthetic is.
And I've never seen it in a video game before.
Yep.
But I think I honestly feel like people were probably doing a lot of crack in BioShock as it is, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
You saw those things.
Yeah.
I think they were doing more like crocodile than they were.
Fair enough. But yeah, that we're definitely playing that on the Tuesday show. That's 100% going to be one of our games.
Are there like anti-crocodile PSAs in Russia? Like, I'd like to just see what one.
Well, like the faces of crocodile.
Yeah, something like that.
Man, I don't want to see those. That's like faces of people who've been attacked by apes. Like, no one wants to see that.
Everybody on Oprah wanted to see that.
Did they?
I don't know. They brought that lady on.
The one who was attacked by an ape?
Yeah, the one that got her face ate.
Yeah, there's that.
How did her new face look?
No longer a
It was pretty fucking horrifying,
you
dude.
tell she got attacked by an ape.
Yeah, she looks like she had her face ripped off by a monkey.
Alright, just curious.
Like, no, I mean, it was bad. I mean, and this was like after having all the reconstructive
Right.
surgery. I mean, and it was still like,
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
like I remember
having
like
your
not.
having your face eaten is a life-changing event.
Often the results be death.
Oh, that's also true.
I mean, this lady survived that happening though.
Yep. But that's why wild animals belong outside. It's,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Important.
Unless they're
life
actually
lesson.
domesticated.
Life
do
lesson we can
not
all
fucking.
take away. I mean, I don't know, man. No wild animal is ever fully domesticated. I'm not
I mean, that's
saying,
what I'm saying. Unless
Yeah.
they're domesticated
I feel like you
animal.
can try to keep a wild animal that's sufficiently small and harmless, like a gopher, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah. There, I mean, yeah.
Still
There's
don't, because it's a wild animal, it doesn't belong in your home, but, like,
Right.
if you gotta pick a wild animal,
sure.
something
Some
that
are
can't
gonna
be
be
faced.
Relatively harmless.
Yeah, some of them will be manageable
Right.
at least.
And it's not like there are ways that you can, I don't know. I'm still not a big fan on people having like personal zoos or whatever, but just the idea, like, they're not your pet. Like you
Right.
can't have like a leopard sleep in your bed with you.
No.
Dude, the number of people that have like fucking pulled that shit with like alligators or crocodiles.
Yeah.
That's one of those where I'm like, how are you alive even now?
Well, could you imagine those people who are like, this is my emotional support alligator? It's just like,
I don't believe that an alligator can offer you emotional support. I really don't.
I'll tell you.
I don't know, as far as reptiles go, it's probably the most mammal-like.
I guess. It's just, it don't love you.
No, they don't love you. I don't believe I don't know, man.
I feel fairly confident saying reptiles don't experience love.
No, I think that's too harsh. I don't think we know they're out there express themselves enough to say that.
Did you see they genetically engineered the first dino chicken?
Yeah, how'd it go?
Oh, they've been working on
Looked
that
like-
for a while,
Looked
huh?
like,
What's it
looked
look like?
a
Are we
little-
talking Jurassic Park, or are we talking a chicken with teeth?
I thought the
it's
chicken
like-
with teeth
it's like-
happened like
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Well, it's featherless and raptor-like. Like,
Oh, it looks like a plucked chicken.
No, I mean, like, its skin's kind of scaly, and like, I mean, it kind of looks like a dinosaur, just the size of a chicken.
How's it taste?
A nugget with claws.
nobody ate it yet. Yeah.
Is that going to be the next thing? Like, we're going to have, like, luxury dino chickens?
Dino nuggets at
Well, I
like
think
McDonald's.
I think this was like a proof of concept. Like, look, we can
We can make a fucked up chicken.
yeah, basically. But also,
Yeah, we can
also,
make a fucked up chicken.
also with the argument that like, oh, then we'll be able to like make dinosaurs from here. Like they're basically this is like the opening salvo in Jurassic Park. This is like, all right, we've accomplished creating what's fundamentally a dinosaur. Now I just need to start scaling these things up.
There's actually a sci-fi series that's kind of closer to what this really is than Jurassic Park would be.
Sure.
Which is, it was basically a whole entire series about people, like, taking birds and turning them genetically into different kinds of dinosaurs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they'd be like, they were like this worldwide like luxury pet phenomenon type thing. And you'd have different ones that would all be based on different bird lineages, so they'd have different traits. Like you had like pro raptors, which are like really smart and like easy to train, and then you had like chicken raptors, which are like cheaper, easier to get, but they're like dumber and like bigger, that kind of shit.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that kind of really is what
I think that seems fairly
happening.
plausible. Much more so than Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I just really want some dinosaur meat at McDonald's.
Well, Mammoth Land or whatever, is that still on, or did the Russians
I'm
run
pretty
out
sure
of
that's
money for
still
that?
on. I'm pretty sure that's still happening.
What's that place
Are
called?
they going to breed them so they can ship them off to Ukraine?
Macedonatopia or something?
Got something else for you.
Nah, I'm not sure. I just know that they require the elephants to like breed for like a certain number of generations before the genes that they flipped will actually manifest. And so we haven't gotten to the point where like a woolly mammoth has been born yet, but it is like we are in the process of a series of genetically altered elephants are like in existence that will eventually lead to one.
We could do the same thing with the dodo.
Yeah, why don't we?
I don't know.
Just because we think they taste bad, and so it's like that's not worth
I think
it.
there are people who are seriously suggesting that we should.
Yeah, they're talking about bringing back the Tasmanian tiger too. Like
Those are kind of cool.
Yeah,
like
those
those,
things
yeah.
are cool. Yeah. But,
Like anybody like, oh, the dodo's so badass, we got to get it back.
Fuckersaurus and Dino Egg.
Oh, I want a Dino Royale.
oh my god.
Cluckersaurus, Dino. That's gonna be a restaurant. I'm telling you, if there was a real Jurassic Park, that would be all the food would be like that.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they never thought to put that in the Jurassic World.
Well, that was my biggest disappointment. Is like Jurassic World, I thought had a chance to do something really interesting with Jurassic Park, and that was to explore like the full Disney worldification.
Yeah, the franchising of it.
Yeah, because
That's a clever idea.
One of the things that made me think that was the direction they were going to take it in is just seeing the fucking Margaritaville like in the trailer.
Well, and
like,
that's the thing.
And
is
I was just like,
that's not just
that's
something
a good idea.
That is actually something the director like straight up said, and then it
Never
didn't.
happened.
Yeah, and then it didn't actually feel like it was in the movie.
Like and then they did
Talked about
they
it,
did
but-
the SeaWorld thing with what's that giant megalodon with the megalodon
Yeah,
the
the
SeaWorld
big
thing, and I was like, dude, like all
Barbecue
you had,
T-Rex ribs, like proper
That does sound
Flintstones
good. I
food.
want that.
I would do
You could have it be like
big
a
rack of ribs, dude.
Yeah.
You could do it like the drive through, like the kind of old school like drive through diner kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you
with the
drive through the
Flintstones.
dinosaur you're going to eat?
No, have you never heard of like,
I think
a
you
drive
just
through
get
diner?
one.
No, I've never heard of a drive-through diner.
You don't.
You mean like a drive-in?
No.
A drive-by?
Like the official entrance to the
I mean, I guess
Mall.
technically you could leave quickly, but no, I mean it's like Sonic has one now, but that's like the only one really.
Yeah.
They used to be all over the place.
What do you
yeah,
want drinks there?
Let's see what it's
But
Like you come in and you
that's
get the
a-
food in your car like a drive-in, but then you also it's like
Yeah.
there are like dedicated parking spaces, so it's like it's like a diner that you're actually going to a location for at the same time as a drive-through.
Yeah.
That used to be a thing.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like you said, Sonic stuff.
Well, in the Flintstones cartoon, that's where Wilma worked.
Right.
Was like they had
Yeah,
one of
she
those
was
in the show.
car hop.
Yeah.
They call them.
I think that was in the show.
Yeah.
Am I just
Yeah.
getting that from the shitty live action movie, or was that in the cartoon?
I don't remember.
It might be.
All right,
that
man.
might just be
Have a
from
good
the
night,
shitty
Oren.
live
Have a
action.
good night,
movie.
Oren.
Yeah, have a good night. Thank you so much for the
Stop
raid
it,
again,
man.
dude.
Where those righteous were coming from.
And get out of here before any crazy story things happen.
Missed enough spoilers.
But what I'm saying is that a dinosaur couldn't appear to be big enough that it itself could be the restaurant.
That's true.
Sure.
Also,
Yeah, I mean, hell yeah.
I think you probably get one rib for a family of four.
Yeah. Not so much from a T-Rex, you need to have like a fucking brachiosaur.
Yeah.
You see this thing's just like got holes all over its body. It's just giving birth all the time.
As you do.
Like one of those.
That's what those
Sumatran
little
toads.
lizard things are coming out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like those Sumatran toads, dude. Those things are so gross.
Yeah, look at that.
when you see the tadpoles start like coming out as frogs out of its back, and just sticking
that is
back
weird.
and crawling out.
That
That's
is
so
very
disturbing
weird.
to see.
That's some like straight up fucking David
that's
Cronenberg like body horror shit. And granted, there's a lot of that in nature.
Yep.
To be
I'm
fair,
surprised I've never seen more of that kind of thing, like in fiction, like the frog example.
Yeah,
there is the whole like. Was it the tryptophobia? That's it's like the fear of like holes that are like on that like a natural pattern of holes.
Those
Right? 'Cause that's kind of what the
I was gonna say those Sumatran
thing
toads
is.
almost give me that. Right?
yeah, because it's like so
You see
fucking
the
gross looking.
the bulging little baby toads start like
Come out of the back.
sticking their noses out or
It looks like-
stretching their legs out.
Because they look like they're coming through pores almost.
Yeah, they look like if
It's
you
pretty
if,
horrible.
if you had some horrible like acne, except there was a living creature inside every one of your pimples. Like
Yeah, that is kind of what it's like. Yeah. Well, hey, that Silent Hill trailer, not the remake, but the Silent Hill, Silent Hill. That one had that with the plants coming out of the body, right? That totally had that.
Plants are
set
still
that
better
up.
than small frogs.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I know, but it was definitely trying to instill that kind
It
of.
just goes
you know,
to show you, at the end of the day, it's hard to beat nature for like truly
Just horrifying,
horrifying things.
crazy fucking nonsense.
Leader. He stood up to Odin when no one else would.
I mean, the fact that we still know so little about what's even in the ocean,
Just from long ago.
like
Well,
they're
the shit you see in the ocean makes you go like,
like, have you ever seen one of those basket stars?
yeah, those are really weird.
Those look alien to me. Like I remember the first.
It's like a mesh.
Well, and you know what? They don't look as
things.
weird
Yeah.
when they're in water.
Oh, sure.
Because they're all
very-
stretched out and
they
flowing. They look more
really
like coral
strange
almost.
when the fishermen pull them out.
Yeah, when the
Yeah.
fishermen pull them up
Yeah.
and they're just like out, like they're totally like on a boat sitting there. They look so weird. Those are actually kind of unsettling.
The ones I don't like is when they pull up those isopods.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're called, like,
Yeah.
They're
The
like
big,
the rolling, like the
yeah, they look
stupid,
like
the rolling
pill bugs, but they're way
bugs.
bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're-
just gigantic. You're like, oh man.
There's now do they all do the tongue replacement thing or
No, that's a
because they don't
specific
all
species.
do that. Yeah,
There are some. For example, there's giant isopods, which just sort of
Yep,
sort of
that's what I'm
stumble
talking
around
about.
on the
Yeah.
ocean floor.
Another door.
But those things are
sort of swim. They
massive.
kind of flail their limbs and swim that way.
okay.
Okay.
They just kind of do that
Yeah,
to
yeah.
move.
We're on our
I don't know. Those things are massive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're just.
But then there are
they're
the
the
tongue
size of a
replacement
dinner plate.
isopods.
dude. What's up?
But then there are specifically the tongue replacement
Yes.
isopods that eat the fish's tongue and then become their tongue and eat everything they try and eat until the fish starves.
Yeah.
That's another thing I feel like we never see quite enough of in like sci-fi or like
Yeah.
fantasy, that kind
Well, they
of thing.
never lean into kind of those parasitic animal relationships.
The xenomorph is one of the few.
Well, the xenomorph actually has quite a few like close equivalents, even just from
Yeah,
more.
there's
average
eels
animals.
that do the mouth.
There's
the second
also
mouth thing.
wasps.
Yeah.
Parasitoid wasps.
Okay.
Where what they do is they'll like attack, like say a caterpillar, and they'll sting it to stun it, and
Right.
they'll like abduct it, bring it back to their lair, and they will like lay eggs in it, right? And the caterpillar will still be alive, will still be conscious as the larvae hatch and grow and eat within it until eventually they burst from the caterpillar's body.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, they're pretty intense.
That is.
There's a Devora in Mortal Kombat does that as one of her fatalities
If you're headed to the
in the last game.
could you
I
bring
don't
me
know.
a
It's
sled?
like.
I could use
Is
the
it
material from the
anglerfish?
craft.
I don't know. One of those abyssal fish species or whatever, where the male one is way smaller than the female one.
I think it's a kind of anglerfish. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it bites into the side of the female anglerfish and slowly just becomes incorporated into the fish and becomes basically
Just an
testicles
organ, yeah.
with a tail. So you'll just see this little tail like flopping out off the side of these female anglerfish. And the male's brain has been dissolved and like absorbed into it, and basically the only reason that the male isn't completely absorbed is so that its testicles can just become like an external organ of the female anglerfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So they
That's
can
pretty.
reproduce asexual.
Yeah, that's a pretty out there.
That's a very alien reproductive system.
Yeah, very strange. But that's nature.
Yep.
Nature's
Nature's
fucking
on
weird.
some weird shit, man.
You gotta be here somewhere. This mine is huge.
Players, what do you intend to stop Odin from doing? You speak as if you know.
Have you seen some of these videos going around of all the animals and like insects and everything just walking in like death spirals lately?
What?
I mean, it happens. Like, it's not something that's like unheard of. It happens to a lot of different animals, like especially if there's like disturbances in the magnetic field and stuff like that. Yeah. But they'll just start walking in like circles.
They look like a weird floating spiral from far away.
Yes, like ants and
ants are one of the ones that that most commonly do that anyway as a behavior. But there's been some there's been some weird sheep don't normally do that.
Reindeer do sometimes.
Yeah, reindeer do.
Interesting.
But it's been weird because it's been like a lot of examples all back to back, and it's like an animal and a lot of animals that are less likely to do that too.
Any particular suggestions for why that is?
Maybe
not anything that I've seen, but I mean, one of the reasons it happens is because of like disturbances. Because I mean, like all animals kind of have an internal compass.
Yeah.
And if the magnetic fields get screwed up, they can't find magnetic north anymore, and they
it's probably just a small series of disrupting kind of
and we are going through a
you think it could be related? Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Yep.
Solar activity's been pretty crazy lately.
Yeah,
that's almost definitely what.
Because every time a solar storm hits the Earth's magnetic field just goes.
Oh yeah,
it stretches the magnetosphere and can kind of tear it away from the Earth for the duration of a storm, and that can really screw with like birds and stuff like that. So maybe that's what's happening too.
I honestly think that's probably a big part of it.
But it is interesting to see like how much part of an animal's experience of the world, just because we don't have that, or if we ever did, it's very much degraded now. But we're not as tied into.
We're less sensitive.
Right.
But like it's a very important part of how a lot of animals perceive the world, and when that gets screwed up, they almost can't function.
Do you think we have actually disconnected from that, or it's just so intrinsic in our basic in existence that we can't even tell that there's how it affects us or what it.
Or alternatively, is it possible that we do still have that, but it's just really insensitive, and it would take a hugely large magnetic force to trigger it?
We're almost there.
Or that we've lost our ability to sense it, it's kind of faded into the background, but it's still there. I don't know, because I don't know. I've never heard about other primates having strong senses of magnetic north and things like that, the way that birds or apparently insects do.
Well, it makes sense for birds because they have a lot of navigating to do.
Right.
It makes sense for certain kinds of herbivores like deer and stuff because they also migrate.
Right.
Insects, that probably makes sense because a lot of them move large distances for them, even if, to us they don't go very far.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of animals that are more omnivorous or carnivorous and who live in smaller groups or individuals probably don't need that sense of much.
Right. And our ancestors learned to navigate by the stars.
Right.
Really early. As far as we can tell, at least. So we may not have needed that ability if we ever had it for a long time.
But for example, cats, do they have that sort of sense?
That I don't know. I mean, it is amazing, you'll hear about cats and dogs who get left somewhere and they don't know, it's not like they have traveled from that place home before, but they still manage to get home somehow.
Cats even more so.
Yeah, cats do that a lot. And that would imply that they have some sense of direction no matter where in the world they are, and some sense of where their home is. If they could, like, be on a family vacation.
Except the real dumb dogs.
Yeah. But if they could be on, like, a family vacation in California and need to get back to Oklahoma and...
Because that happens, stories like that.
Yeah.
They certainly won't
So.
tear.
But I've never seen, like, you know, cats or dogs do sort of the spiraling behavior.
No, I've never seen that either. And the videos I've seen lately, like turkeys, insects, sheep.
It's the only thing I think for social animals.
You know, I don't know. I mean, but then again, are you going to see a pack? You're not going to see a pack of a non-social animal. I guess you
But
could
you would
have
see an
like one of them, an individual one walking inside. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of it's just kind of been going viral lately because it is.
It's just more. It's just happening more frequently
It's been
than
happening
usual.
a lot, so
Right.
people have been noticing, and then like if they notice it, then they post a video too of it. But I don't know what it means, or whether like something like that would be caught the same way as like a herd of sheep walking in circles versus like one wolf walking in a circle or something like that.
Well, dogs
social.
do that when they have like
Wolves are social animals.
Tumors.
too,
But small groups could be
brains.
different than big groups, too.
but- Yeah. I don't know.
an individual dog will do that though if it has like a tumor in its brain.
Yeah.
But when I say that, I'm thinking like
Well, here's the
that
question.
a tumor in your brain's also fucking with your innate sense of like
Direction.
direction,
Right.
right?
For sure.
But here's the question. I mean, what if you have sheep or ants or something like that, where they have that biological programming to follow the leader sort of,
Yeah.
and the leader is a bit, you know, has a problem like that.
Well, I know
That's an interesting question.
I know ants specifically will kind of wander aimlessly and die if they lose track of the leader ant or something happens with the leader ant, because ants really are kind of a hive mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
There's basically two kinds of like ant movement. There's the scout ants, which just sort of go wherever and they just leave trails behind, and then there's the like ants that actually do like expeditions to go grab things or fight enemies or whatever.
Sure.
And they
Yeah.
follow those paths,
Right.
and without a path, they follow their leader.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Little brother,
So,
perhaps it's time
No.
we...
yeah, I
What
don't.
do you say?
I mean, I'm sure there are multiple reasons that something like that could happen, and I could definitely see with insects and like kind of hive mind creatures them just end up walking in circles because like a trail gets crossed somehow, or they just lose direction or something like that. It's just been like people are just noticing it's happening a lot lately with a lot of different animals for some reason.
Like I said, I really think it probably is just extra solar activity.
It could be. Could
Well,
be.
and I do think, and I mean, well, we know that the magnetic poles have been, at least the North Pole, has shifted significantly.
Yeah.
From being more, magnetic north used to be more under Canada, and it's moved basically under Siberia. Like it's migrated across basically the entire Arctic Ocean.
The poles will also flip on occasion as well.
Yeah, that's like every 100 or so odd thousand years. It's much more It's much more frequent than you would think.
Yeah.
I remember that was supposed to be why the world was going to end in
I remember
2012, was because that was going to happen.
That didn't happen either.
But and the magnetic poles reverse even more frequently. But I mean, that's not something that you see happen. That happens inside of the Earth. You know, like that's your like within the core. But the magnetic poles reverse like on like a scale of 20,000 some odd years or something like that. And they kind of they will slowly kind of migrate, and then they'll just flip once they reach a certain point.
Spends their life fighting, such as Tyr. Have any desire
And,
to themselves.
I don't know. I'm sure that has some disastrous consequences that we're not fully aware of.
Yeah.
I know they can see in like petrified trees and stuff like that the effects of the magnetic poles reversing. I'm not sure exactly what they noticed from that shows them that the magnetic poles reverse, but I know they'll go look in like petrified tree rings and things like that. They can see the effect that it has. I'm not sure exactly how or why, but it does affect things enough that it'll show up in the record. geological records.
There's a lot of complicated shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Who knows the full extent of its effect?
Right. The Earth is so dynamic. Like because we have short lives and human history, recorded history is relatively short. We really forget how dynamic and how much the Earth changes and how often it changes dramatically.
Did you hear that, brother?
Right.
And we don't even think about ice ages. Like when they had like a mini ice age like 400 years ago, like oh, you can just the Earth can be plunged into an ice age all of a sudden. Like
Right.
that's within recorded history,
Yeah.
and we still don't think about the fact that like
Right.
We're
just-
in a warm period.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shit, world could end in like 5 seconds. I mean, if we
I get it.
is the right.
Well, how often?
Circumstances.
All the time,
Yeah, like if
NASA.
Kanye gets the nuclear button.
Yeah, becomes president. But like,
I'll get you, G.I. Joe.
but NASA has frequently like noticed like near miss asteroids after they've already passed. Like they'll just then be like, "Wow, that thing got awfully close to Earth 3 days ago," and it's like, "Oh, that's really
Yeah,
comforting."
there's actually
like,
a lot of blind spots that
Ooh.
we can't protect.
Yeah.
The Einherjar.
Oh shit.
These are these are all of like Asgard's dead warriors from Valhalla.
Oh shit. Nice.
So, Bifrost on the health bar. Bifrost heals over time, but follow-up hits can detonate it for extra damage.
Oh shit.
We're like, yeah, but we're fighting Asgardians.
It's just blue and not rainbow colors. Technically, haven't we fought as Guardians before?
We've fought.
Well,
God.
we
Yeah.
fought some of the we fought 3 of the Aesir, but these are just like kind of like people that live in that would have lived in Asgard or been part of his army, but without being a god themselves.
Shit. Yeah, the Bifrost.
And these, I mean, also because these are the warriors that have died and gone to Valhalla already, they're like more supernaturally,
Right.
you know,
Really, they don't
they're
want
like
us in
spirits or something almost.
Be it.
Back to it then.
But it's a big ass door.
Not big enough.
Well, no door's big enough to keep Kratos out.
Looks like you just pulled the entire door out of its frame.
Tyr!
There he is.
Interesting.
What trickery is this, Odin? What game do you play with me now?
Yeah, it's good Horton got out of
We're
here
not with
before we.
Odin.
Yeah.
We're the good guys.
Yeah, like he's gonna buy that.
We're gonna have to kill him.
Don't think so.
Tyr's, I mean, Tyr's, you know, has been set up to be, you know,
An ally.
yeah, I mean, someone who was a good god that, you
Right.
know, really tried to keep peace, and then he got tortured for it, so.
Is the god of war.
Title drop.
I must be Superman 4, the quest for peace.
God killer. And you come from me now.
Only to free you.
Stay away. Rather, let me try. Tyr. Tyr. Look, you know me, don't you? You killed Mimir.
I don't know how they thought that was gonna go.
You stay away from me, you monsters.
Eat him!
I mean, that is the natural reaction.
Just decapitated
I
him.
think they're a little too used to it.
Yeah.
God damn, it's just dog pile.
But I like how like this. I mean, this is still very early in the game, but we like pretty quickly have like
Found here.
well, we found Tyr already. We fought Thor already. Yeah. Now we're fighting Asgardians with like regular enemies.
Right.
Yeah, that'll leave plenty of time.
Oh, that does suck when they hit you with the Bifrost and they get you again.
Yeah.
Wipe your health back.
That'll be alright though.
Yeah, I don't respect. I suppose there could be more of them that jump down.
There we go.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're getting all that stuff out of the way, so that leaves more time for the third act pod racing.
Pod racing?
Oh, damn, dude, there's pod racing?
Yeah, man. Yippee!
I didn't know this was going to be that entertaining.
Well,
it only takes up at least 20 minutes.
Oh. T minus 10 seconds to the endless racing sequence.
I just love that originally in that scene George Lucas wanted you to see like the wife and children of one of the pod racers that died during that scene.
No, you do.
Yeah.
But,
no, that's in the movie.
Yeah, but they don't, like, the way he wanted it was to, like, draw as much attention to it as possible.
Oh, instead of it being, like, in background detail.
Yeah, he wanted it to be, like,
oh,
yeah.
That sucked.
Because then all the chunk of health bar that it's, like, covering up will explode, basically. And
you would have killed that guy in one more hit, too.
Yeah, you just about had him.
But no, George Lucas wanted it to be very clear, like, this is his wife and family, and he's dead now, and he won't be able to support them going forward.
On a planet that has already been shown to have slavery,
yeah.
too. Like,
I don't know what the tone of that movie was supposed to be.
I don't think George Lucas knew either.
I don't know. I know you hate Attack of the Clones, and it is a terrible movie. But goddamn, I hate Phantom Menace. Phantom
Menace is, I mean, like, I do think there's totally a debate you can have about which one's worse, but, like, man, the stuff that I physically like the dialogue that I cringe the hardest at is mostly in Attack of the Clones.
That sand shit is in Attack.
I love the water.
Or Jar Jar.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. And the thing is, he's still in the other one.
Young Anakin's even worse than old Anakin, and I hate old Anakin.
Old Anakin is only more tolerable than young Anakin to me because they make him a little less annoying for, like, parts of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
But like if Revenge of the Sith just never came out and it was just the two movies side by side and there was like no other impression of that older.
You hate old Anakin more than
Anakin. Man, I might.
That's really hard.
So bad.
Well, you know what? I think part of it is I feel like I can go. You know what? Oh, most kid actors aren't that good, and so I'll let it go a little bit. But Hayden Christensen was way too old for like that movie to go. Oh yeah, no.
To be cast.
Yeah, like there's like, oh yeah, no, he's totally good enough to be in the. like I get at least with the kid, I'm like, you know what, kid? Like, how often do kids turn out like good anyway?
Isn't Hayden Christensen coming back?
Yeah, I've seen him do some smaller independent stuff where he has.
No, I mean as Anakin.
That happened already in that Obi-Wan show.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, because that was just actually Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader.
I didn't.
There was like a flashback or two.
Oh, okay. I had heard something about that, but I had assumed he wouldn't show up in the Kenobi show because it's like a prequel.
Well, it's post Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, it is post.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like between the two trilogies.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought it was like an even earlier version of Kenobi.
No. Well, it's Ewan McGregor, right?
Yeah, I just thought they'd try to make him young or whatever. Like it doesn't matter how old an actor is anymore. They can play themselves. They can play their character in a prequel 30 years after the movie.
That CG is not good enough to be in TV shows yet.
Fair enough. I don't know. Well, that Luke
Skywalker and The Mandalorian looks fucking weird.
We'll see how it turns out in Indiana Jones, but I thought in the Irishman, I don't know, man. The Irishman.
Not in that one. But Marvel's done it really well a few times.
That's true.
No, they have fucking Disney money, so it's like, you know.
Star Wars is Disney.
This is my father.
Indiana Jones isn't.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying about Irishman with Netflix, and Netflix can't do what Disney can do.
It's worse when he's angry.
Are you not a soldier? Are you not a leader of men? Master yourself!
One god over to another. Fucking calm down.
Look at him!
Man, when Kratos is telling you to calm down, you know you got problems.
Yeah.
Why?
Kratos smacked him, like just bitch slapped him across the face.
We're returning the favor. We?
We are leaving. Are you coming with us?
So is his head going to end up on Kratos' belt too?
I don't think there's a lot more room on there for. I mean, how many heads are you gonna be smacking into each other too? Like,
But he'll be playing like a nice little tune as he's walking along.
it's singing. Just the whole doo-wop group on your belt. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's like 6 heads.
He just spins his belt around. There's a whole barbershop quartet.
Actually, a great idea. I want to see that sometime.
That should be a villain in Dick Justice.
It should.
Like a villain that's got a whole fucking barbershop quartet on his belt.
I ran.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a drink.
Sometimes
There's no shame in that, brother. We live in strange times.
everyone hears him talk.
He wants to turn home.
I do like that they like to have a character like actually react to that. This is a severed head like it's a severed head.
Yeah, that is funny.
Can you feel that? A wind blowing from over here. Maybe there's an exit nearby.
Maybe that's one hell of a fart.
I mean,
I'm Atreus.
Chief's a big guy.
And that's my father. Atreus.
How does the son of a Spartan come
A
to
foul
speak
wind
for young
blows.
My mother was the last one. Laufey?
Laufey. I remember that name.
She tried to help people too. She's in the light of Alphon now.
You have my
In
sympathies.
the Soul NATO. No, that's a Mortal Kombat thing.
So many.
They say some goofy ass shit in Mortal Kombat, but it works. It just doesn't take
Mortal
itself.
Kombat has,
Yeah, I
has
was
that
gonna
very
say
particular
it's-
atmosphere.
It does not take itself seriously.
Please, let me get
A lot of the charm of this
the least I
series.
can do.
Like if I didn't think Mortal Kombat was stupid to some degree, I don't think I'd even like it. Like the fact that it's stupid, it's stupid, but it needs to be. It has to be stupid to work.
We thought you'd want to help.
You freed me only to start a war?
No.
So dear.
Here, you guys can look at each other.
Amir, what's become of you?
Kratos just has to turn his ass to everyone.
Indefinite imprisonment, execrable torture at the hands of the All Father.
You didn't deserve such treatment.
Did you? I will say my view was a touch better than yours.
We found him at the top of a mountain with tree roots wrapped all around him. The only way to free him was to... oh, that.
Highly pleasant for all parties involved.
Freya just spits and it takes the opportunity to just spit in his face.
It's
Hi, are you trying to get me to come give you
There's an
dinner?
outcropping just ahead.
Are you hungry, kitty?
Come on.
You're not as maneuverable as skunks. You don't tolerate this very well.
Trying to escape.
Odin sent him to track down a giant, and then he found Kratos.
Scones
Hi.
eventually
I'd
rebels
promised
against
to take
me,
these
but
to the
she
tallest
likes
peak
being
in the
held
realms,
like a baby
chop off
for
my
at least
head
5
and
minutes.
convince Freya to bring it back.
Cayenne sometimes.
Speak of bother.
I was getting to that. It wasn't all kill this, kill that.
Back to the wetlands.
Scones started to become really demanding of shows of affection.
Yeah.
And she's very much now.
Gravy has been too recently.
thing that annoys me the most is she, like, when I come home, she, like, runs to my room
Uh-huh.
and then just flops down on the floor and then just looks at me and it's like, you're gonna lay down on the floor too, right? And then I'm just gonna, like, lay here.
I don't do that. You can get, like the cats, you can fucking get up on the couch and come to me.
Yeah, I don't know. That's her thing. I think she's...
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, that acid is...
Yeah, don't stay on the barf puddle.
Jesus.
You got barfed to death.
I did. I guess.
Hey, we got to see some sick dance
being at a
moves,
party at Kesh's house, dude.
Watch out!
You know, Kesha's actually probably one of the smartest people in the music industry, as far as like artists go.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And she just like saw an opening to just acting like a complete dumbass, vapid piece of shit and to make a lot of money.
That's like totally like a show,
But I mean,
a party girl thing.
I think a lot of agents and like record label owners think that way, but it's not usually the artists who are also like, oh, I'm just gonna be a completely fake person because I know how much people want these empty shells.
I think a lot of agents tell a lot of artists that way, and so I think a lot of them do, but it's not their idea necessarily.
Yeah. But well, I don't remember what her first super popular song was. I just remember, like, I think the opening line of the song is like covered in vomit and glitter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard that song.
Was that like TikTok or some shit?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the line I specifically remember most vividly from that song is her being like covered in vomit and glitter.
It's like fucked up in the tub, covered in vomit and glitter.
Yeah,
something like that. Something like that.
And it's like, oh man, I'm glad that all the children in this country are absorbing such positive messages.
That was when we were kids.
Yeah, that's an old song. That was like her first hit for sure.
I mean, she did mention glitter, that's pretty positive.
I guess.
The one word in the sentence, I guess, sure.
Before we go any further, the truth.
I remember one time, Cecilia, I had like glitter on me or something. She's like, "You go to the strip club?" And it's like, "Nah, I just picked up something at Walmart. And glitter's stuff to me. It wouldn't get off."
Is that a thing they do at the strip club? They just throw glitter at everyone?
Is there a lot of glitter at strip clubs, honestly?
I think strippers will put like glitter on and stuff.
On
So
their
they
pajamas.
sparkle.
Well, strippers, yeah, but I mean the audience?
No, but you get like a lap dance and the stripper's covered in glitter.
Sure.
Glitter on you. And I think she was joking, but I was just like, nah, I just like picked up this. I think I was looking for like a birthday card or something. And
At the strip club?
And then she wasn't joking after you said that because what you said seemed like a lie.
But it was like a glitter card, and then I was like, fuck, like just trying to wipe the glitter off of me. Just like it was a disaster.
We do not seek war.
We just want some answers.
I don't know how to help you.
It doesn't matter.
Kratos is like, great, he's fucking useless.
That's the tear we need. We need you.
All right. All I ask is for a good night's rest. And maybe some food. I think you killed the guards bringing me dinner.
I mean, what dinner was that going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine this, sending them great food.
The sons of Thor attacked us. We killed them. Baldur tried to kill Freya. I killed him.
But you skipped over how we fought and freed the Valkyries. And that the Giants are all gone. And how they called me Loki. Finding the shrines.
Giants are gone.
When we got to Jotunheim, they were all... dead.
Dead. Do you think Odin...
We do not know.
Whoa.
I think we're getting out of here not a moment too soon.
Whoa,
What's gonna be?
what are those?
Like those are like now that's got the full rainbow color in it. Those are soldiers coming down from the Bifrost,
That's cool.
like meteors just
Are they using
coming out
the
of the
sky to
sky.
travel between realms?
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
They're coming down on either Valir too. Will the dwarves be okay?
That was just gone.
Yeah, it's like the door. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we were thinking of running it ourselves.
Yeah, you have the rainbow.
Sword.
Yeah. Whoa, God damn.
Here, why are you such a bitch?
Pick up a fucking weapon. You're like 9 feet tall. You could probably toss this dude.
He's literally like in the position of like a kid whose alcoholic dad just got home. Like,
I mean, he's been in that cell for like decades, man.
I don't care. God of War. He can't be like just in the fetal position.
Well, maybe he's the god of fetal positions now.
Yeah.
What a useful god.
Yggdrasil. It's been too long. I've forgotten. Beauty.
Tyr, in your travels, did you ever hear the giants talk about Loki?
I'm sorry. That name doesn't sound familiar. The giants were very private people.
Makes sense.
Perhaps after a rest.
He sure is a sleepyhead.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I want to, be open-minded about Tyr, but like, I'm not loving him so far.
You're really alive.
Am I? I wonder.
Okay.
He's just
Is
tired.
he starved?
Promising some food.
That sounded high. Yeah.
He wants food and he wants to
see
sleep.
what we can
That's
do.
all he cares about.
Come inside.
Yeah, I mean that's
We'll be
fair.
right in. So, can we talk about what to do next?
There is much to consider. We will speak in the morning.
Now let's open this
Okay.
vagina.
Alright, now I'm not gonna be able to unsee that.
What the fuck?
These guys still got the chain around his neck.
Oh, okay.
Much better.
Brock fucking kills him the minute we walk in.
That would be hilarious. Rush just fucking killed him. He slipped.
Sounds like promises were made. Let's see about getting this settled.
Yeah, let's invite more people into Sindri's house that he didn't know that were coming.
He's wearing shoes.
He is, well, we're all... Kratos is wearing shoes.
He's got like sandals on.
I figured Sindri would want us to take our shoes off at the door.
What does Kratos
Like
care
that
what
type.
Sindri
That's
wants?
also good point.
I think Sindri's long learned not to press that issue.
Back where I come from, we'd say he's been through a few things. So have we all. Well, ain't you philosophical?
Some food then. Oh, nothing much.
Just in a fucking lounge chair.
Hard tack.
Any sort of humble ship's biscuit will do.
Oh my
With a pinch
god.
of salt.
Is he just gonna stare into that fire now?
Is he gonna be eating
Like
that
a
kind of
TV. He's already looking like a lazy stoner piece of shit. Pretty soon, like reruns of Seinfeld are gonna start playing.
Yeah, just there should be a TV right on that little chest.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the frost giant? They're all dead. You see this? You heard about this?
Had some crackers. Maybe the squirrel took them.
Squirrel. Oh, right. That's
Ratatosker.
Yeah.
Know what?
I swear I've had that thing
Must
in
be
my
the
attic.
pantry. Quietly.
Oh no, I'm sure you definitely have.
So is he gonna be eating that like fucking like 17th century like hardtack that had the bugs in it?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I mean, that would fit.
Extra
That
protein.
would fit.
Yum.
I want you to eat the bugs, okay? Gotta eat the bugs.
Fill it. They're like raisins. Looks like they wiggle.
Oh no, that's horrible.
I want things to be the way they were.
Well, I'd like to climb a tree again. Certain ships have sailed.
Yeah, they build him like a robot body.
Mimir?
Just wish Atreus were not so.
Some sort of like dwarven mechanical like
Or just graft them onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty magical world.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Did they graft him to Kratos' shoulder?
I don't think Kratos would go for that.
I hate to say it, I think Tyr might be one of them. I've never seen a man broken so completely.
His pain was fresh.
I like immediately Kratos, when we were getting to a room alone, they're like, yeah, Tyr was a fucking mistake. We shouldn't have gotten him.
Freya still wants to kill you. That's an ally we could use.
That is not an option.
No. I don't suppose it is.
Trouble sleeping. Ah! Shh. You cannot sneak up on me like that.
You were just doing it.
Without me? I thought we were partners.
Yeah, don't sneak up on teenage boys, dude. You could have been masturbating.
Wasn't sure you'd want to join me. I'm visiting an old friend.
I know I would have been.
To account, she's determined to murder you. She wouldn't really.
I think it's lovely that you see the best in people. I really do. I want you to continue to see the best in people by not getting yourself murdered.
But we need her.
I love getting myself murdered.
Can't tell me what to do.
Get murdered if I want to, Dad. God.
How do you teleport like that?
Something much less risky, but maybe
That was definitely him glitching.
Yep.
a certain old friend you
They still haven't fixed everything.
He was probably, as he was walking, he was about to walk into the building, and they just...
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter how graphically nice games could be, they're always going to have a little bit of that problem.
A little bit. Well, I mean, maybe eventually they'll.
Well, not if Bethesda's still around.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, at some point, the AIs will be advanced enough to foresee those situations and avoid them before they ever even show up.
But now I really want to see like a photorealistic Bethesda game where everything's just all fucked up, like like the dragons are flying backwards.
But it looks like entirely like real life.
Yeah.
But it's glitching out.
Yeah.
That actually does sound pretty fun.
Well, you could just play Cyberpunk.
That would make just a good game in general if you had a game where kind of the premise is like that you got
reality is
this
breaking down.
this
Michael actually said that
hyper-realistic
about
BI
Cyberpunk when it came out.
Yeah.
We were watching the videos of the glitches. And it's like, if this was on purpose,
Yeah,
it'd almost be, yeah. But that was not on purpose.
Fucking Cyberpunk.
Oh. I'm very sorry to hear that. As wolves go, he was always very clean.
It's the best thing you can come
I'd
up
offer to
with.
give you a hug, but
I mean, that means a lot to him.
That's true. It probably is actually a really big compliment for him.
Okay. Caught a whiff of something awful near the Helheim Tower. Remember
It's interesting that we're actually playing as Atreus now.
Just past the oarsman.
Yeah, there's actually a decent amount of that in this.
I know what I smelled.
He's a little older, a little more capable.
A lot's kind of happy. And
I
I
didn't
need
know
answers.
Sindri could just like smell things like a dog.
Dwarves have pretty good senses of smell, I guess.
Do gnomes have a good sense of smell?
Well, I mean,
I don't know. They don't smell
they're
very
always
good.
tracking this motherfucker down.
They really fucking are. They're waiting for him at every store.
Yeah, right? They're just, they anticipate wherever you like to go, and they just kind of
Whatever, man.
organize.
You guys have.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I love it. I love that he tried.
So, what's been going on?
So,
No,
Father said I
Kratos
cast a
is
spell
one
with
of a
Fenrir.
kind, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about.
No one else can just go through a fucking...
I don't know. Maybe when Atreus gets a bit older.
Yeah, maybe eventually, but also, like, I feel like...
different kind of god.
Yeah, I feel like Loki's always going to be like a... Like, he could be a badass, right? But
not
Not
like,
the
strong.
yeah.
yeah.
Brain knows magic better
Not
than
like the
anyone.
Hulk, like Kratos is.
But not giant.
Fine. Do it your way then, Sin. Huge venomous snake seems much safer.
He can't lift it at all, he just has to push it too. Yeah, who would have ever expected God of War to become something where, like, you are playing as the character Loki?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that just a...
Not just that, but little kid Loki.
Right.
Wow. Almost like you've done
Loki,
this before.
the early years.
Young Loki, now on CBS.
The Adventures of Young Loki, played by Ryan Gosling. You know, he was young Hercules, right? In like an entire show that was like part of the Hercules Xena thing.
Huh.
But yeah, Ryan Gosling as like a teenager.
How was the show?
I've never seen it. I'm assuming it was bad. I mean, like Hercules and Xena could be bad, like in cheesy kind of ridiculous ways, but like they were charming enough, right, for their time. But no one talks about like that has not been preserved in pop culture history. This other young Hercules show.
Probably because it sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming.
But hey, you never know. I mean, the Fantastic Four cartoon wasn't really preserved in pop culture history, and that thing rocks.
People.
Not because it's good, but
I mean, sure. I mean, we could certainly get a whole bunch of fun out of it, maybe.
People forget about that.
Now Sindri is our companion character, throwing shit.
People forget
literally
about
throwing shit like a monkey.
No,
I don't. Think
he's making
the
little
type, yeah.
devices.
That would be very unexpected if he was like shitting in his own hand and throwing. Feel like, wow, that's really out of character.
Yeah, he's got like a little bomb there. He's helping.
All right.
He's not touching him, but he's helping.
You guys remember that Indiana Jones, the early years? They had that show.
I think it was just called Young Indiana Jones.
Was it Young Indiana Jones?
Wasn't it?
Oh,
the early years makes me think of one of those like behind the music documentary
exactly.
style things.
Yeah, it's fucking Indy just on drugs.
Fair
and shit.
enough, but whatever, Young Indiana Jones. Shouldn't they have to call it Old Indiana Jones now?
I mean, you'd think so. You'd think so. No, it's the Indiana Jones and the
Grandpa
Dial of Destiny. That's the new movie. That's the actual title.
Do we know what the dial is yet?
Yeah, it's when he falls and he can't get up and he's got a dial life alert. he's destined to eventually fall.
It's broken.
It's literally a phone call he's destined to have to make.
Have all the talent after all.
Or maybe it'll like take place after he's already dead, and it's his family calling the funeral
If I say
service.
yes, you realize you're confirming Brock has all the talent.
Like, yes, Jones, Indiana Jones, he fell this morning.
And Short Round is like his live-in assistance caretaker. He's like, oh no, Dr. Jones, you're falling down the stairs again.
I just need to look out for the people
I hope he's like swinging from vines with his whip, but he's like in a wheelchair.
The wheelchair is flying around with him. Oh my god.
He likes me. He's only eating me.
Just like the idea of Indiana Jones's funeral, they're just putting him in the ground. Short Round like lays some flowers on the coffin, just like okie dokie, Mr. Jones.
Did either of you guys see that Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yeah,
movie?
I saw
Yeah,
that.
the husband in that is Short Round.
Yeah, you were telling me.
That's that actor. So clearly he can do stunts and play an action star. Why not? If you're gonna do a new Indiana Jones thing, why not let that guy come in and be
that makes perfect sense.
a 40-year-old or 40-something-year-old action star, like so an age that someone will fucking believe.
And you think that would be the obvious answer for a Hollywood that's always like, whoa, we need like more diversity and like
and that would be
characters. That's not even shoehorning.
No,
not even
natural.
shoehorning it in. That's like a completely logical way to have a successor to Indiana Jones that you've already introduced. Would not seem like you were like forcing it at all. Like, no,
that would actually be honoring the character.
Yeah. But nope. Just
Shia LaBeouf.
Bring ancient
Harrison.
Harrison Ford back.
You think they'll try and give him another different kid in this one? You think they'll just do that again, but with another actor?
Set up a succession.
Yeah, because they died it with Shia LaBeouf. Do you think they just do it again with a different actor? This time?
Some other obnoxious white guy nobody likes.
I seriously, I don't understand why you wouldn't just let fucking Ke Huy Quan do it. Like, what? That doesn't,
Well, we know why. It's because as much as they like to claim they're all into the diversity over there in Hollywood, they're still racist.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and the thing that drives me so crazy on like these classic like franchises or whatever is they just really decided that they don't need to find someone who loves the series and like has an appreciation for the lore, the kind of person who would be like, oh well, why don't we bring back Short Round? No, just get some director who doesn't give a shit about it, doesn't know anything about it, probably isn't going to.
Or if they do know about it, they just want to make a nostalgia trip like J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Right.
They're just remaking what you've already seen.
Yeah, you need to find somebody with like vision and a love for the property to make something like that work.
I mean, I will say I like the director that's doing this Indiana Jones movie. I don't trust the studio to let him, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the director is James Mangold.
Okay.
Who directed.
Mangold?
Yes, James has been mangled. James Mangold is the guy. He directed 3:10 to Yuma with Christian Bale and Russell Crowe. He directed Logan. One of the, I think, by far best of the X-Men, the Fox X-Men franchise. And it's like, I'd like to think he is someone that could pull off an Indiana Jones movie. I just don't think Harrison Ford should fucking be Indiana Jones anymore. Or at the very least, he should have like a really like.
He could have a supporting role.
Well, like
he could be Sean Connery in.
I think that would work.
He's not an action star, but he could be a star.
Well, and then I think you could do something. You could do action scenes that are creative. Like remember how
some of it.
Remember how Samuel Jackson got that really cool car chase sequence because he had to basically sit in like a fake seat and just have green screen around him.
Right.
But he was able to have a really badass action scene in The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Because they creatively filmed around the fact that he, is old and can't do his stunts really. Mm-hmm. So they just found a clever way to work around. You could have I think you could totally have Harrison Ford do like a sniper battle or something with like another sniper or something, right? Like that could, like there are creative ways that that's what they should have been doing even in Crystal Skull, right? Like he was already old enough, they should have been doing shit like that back then.
I feel like it should be
in a mentorship role.
Yeah, well, and then they tried that, but then they was Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. I feel like it makes more sense for that to be like a one-off action scene with him. Too.
Yeah. Like he shouldn't be the main action star. He could even be like watching someone else's back even when that happens.
Yeah, you can do the Sean Connery thing where he tags along for a lot of the thing, but he's not going to be the one doing the stunts or the crazy shit like it.
And that makes it all the more impactful when he actually does do some crazy shit.
Yeah. Yes. And again, like, you know what? I do really like James Mangold. Maybe he's the guy that came in and had these ideas that we're talking about. Maybe. I just don't trust Disney to allow him to do that, to make that movie.
The title is so
The title
weak.
Is bad,
The title is so weak that it makes me suspicious.
Unless he actually calls Life Alert in the movie, and it is that joke.
I'm assuming it has to be a sundial of some kind. Like, if it
but that'd be like if
any other kind of dial, it's just the most moronic thing I've ever heard.
Right.
Like, even if it is a sundial and they have the cool thing or whatever on it,
but
it's still a sucky ass title.
Yeah.
Doesn't that? Well, I think my biggest problem with it is that doesn't it feel like it's telling you too much? Like, imagine if Raiders of the Lost Ark was called Indiana Jones and the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah,
right. Like it's like giving away the MacGuffin that is going to they're going to have to use in the movie. And to be honest, the Crystal Skull also did that because the movie title tells you that there's a Crystal Skull.
And the Crystal Skull also didn't matter for most of that movie.
It also didn't matter for the movie, but yet they named it after.
It was so stupid.
Yeah, well, it was stupid. Yeah, the alien shit was dumb. Indiana Jones should be like kind of weird old biblical magic.
Yeah, like occult stuff.
Occult stuff, like the Nazis were into.
Right. I mean, that's why part of the reason why the Nazis were the main villains for like 2 of the movies.
Yeah, they went into Crystal Skull. They tried to make it the Russians.
Yeah, I mean, which
I guess Aliens fits Russians better than Nazis, but like
it doesn't have any like connection really to the supernatural.
Yeah, like.
Well, and the thing about Indiana Jones is it is so tied up with that time period.
Right, it's like you really want to see an Indiana Jones.
Even Temple of Doom, you're kind of like, okay, well, this it doesn't feel quite right, not in the World War II era.
Even Temple of Doom, a lot of people don't like very much because it feels so disconnected from the other two. It feels
because it's a prequel.
Right. Which, even then we were having prequels that didn't fit necessarily. Granted, it's not Crystal Skull. It's still better than that, but it does feel like it's the odd one out of those movies.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and it's the fact that like they felt like, oh, we want to have this adventure in kind of. We want to have this adventure in Asia, and they didn't think it would make sense in like a World War II And I've always
been shit with the Imperial.
Yeah, that's what That's always been my beef with that. Is like, it gets stale to do Nazis over and over again, but why wouldn't you just do something with the Imperial Japanese?
Yeah, that's actually
because in real life, the Imperial Japanese had crazy conflicts with like Borneanese like headhunters and shit, like some of those isolated tribes.
Yeah, that should have been.
There's like missing treasures that were looted by the Japanese that are almost legendary now and stuff like that. Like, why wouldn't that be the focus of an Indiana Jones movie? Like,
I think it's crazy that they haven't tried. That they never did that. That is absolutely what Temple of Doom should have been.
Yeah, it should have been set during World War II. It could have definitely been in Tibet.
And honestly,
the Japanese were in China. They didn't make it that deep into China, but you could have definitely done something about them looking for some like mystical Tibetan object or something.
I thought it could have been done in like Southeast Asia too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the Japanese were tooling around in there. I mean, they got into conflicts with something like Dayaks and shit.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean you.
And you know what? Short Round honestly would have fit into the movie better.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I mean, it starts out with the Japanese too, like
it does for a moment,
like mafia kind of thing at the beginning. That's where they pick Short Round up, and then they go to India, and then it's okay,
totally is
which is fine, but it's also like you pick up this Chinese kid, and then all of a sudden you're in India, and it's like okay, like I mean, not that doesn't work or make sense in the story, but it also would have made more sense if it was more focused.
Yeah, there would have been more like sort of a connection between the
It was basically like, here's 5 minutes for us to get a Chinese child's sidekick, and then okay, now we're going to India. Like, okay.
Yeah, it almost did feel like it was just a way to get the Short Round character in the movie.
Yeah,
because then everything is Yeah, Temple of Doom has problems. It's not the best.
No,
it's not the best.
It's still a pretty decent.
I think it's
movie.
I think it's still a pretty decent.
It's a fun adventure movie. It's not Crystal Skull, which just sucks.
Yeah, Crystal Skull is just some absolute garbage.
Yeah, complete trash.
I wouldn't have to hide things.
But I do think Indiana Jones should be set during the World War II era, and that's an important part of the
Indiana Jones should never
feel of Indiana Jones. Maybe if you listen to me. Like by the time you get to the Cold War, that swashbuckling archaeologist seems like an anachronism.
It doesn't fit at all.
I mean, not that it ever really existed, but once you're past the 40s...
But the fiction that was made at that time had that tone, and that's what it's trying to mimic.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely fits more in with the idea of, like English explorers and shit in the early 1900s, going places in Africa,
right?
Around.
Yeah, because I can't remember that Lord. What was the name of the guy with King Tut?
I don't
know. Either way, this combination of kind of like crazy archaeologists, like really weird people.
And you know what? That has been done in other time periods. Uncharted and Tomb Raider are both that.
Yeah.
And both of those do it pretty well. I think, especially Uncharted. But Indiana Jones made the time period such a big part of its identity that it,
Well, and like think about it, Uncharted. Uncharted does feel very set in the modern world.
Yeah.
It has those Indiana Jones elements of kind of some of the crazier kind of mystical stuff and the looking for these.
And it does have a swashbuckling, like adventurous tone to it, but it does. It manages to modernize it.
Nathan Drake almost has like he feels more of like a Jason Bourne character in this kind of Indiana Jones-esque modernized story than he feels like directly an Indiana Jones clone or something. Like
I mean he feels like his own totally different and unique character for sure.
But like Indiana Jones just feels like the 1930s.
Yeah, no, it has to be that. That's why I'm glad that it's Machine Games, the Wolfenstein developer, they're doing that Indiana Jones game. Right?
Yeah, that should be good.
That, I think, has a lot of potential.
Video games does seem like the future of, like decent stories based on iconic movie franchises more than, like,
movies themselves.
Seems like a place where...
Yeah, I mean, I really do think that there's a lot more great kind of...
Like, we've got some good Lord of the Rings content coming up from video games that we're just not going to get from other forms of media.
Shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch out for the Lost Souls this time.
Yeah, hopefully, anyway. I mean, they haven't announced...
But you said that there's a video game studio that has the rights to it.
Yes, and they're it's Embracer Group, which is responsible for, like, the Destroy All Human remakes. They're also the same company that bought Crystal Dynamics and... what was the... Square Enix sold them Crystal Dynamics, and along with Crystal Dynamics, Embracer Group also got the rights to Legacy of Kain and Tomb Raider along with buying that studio. Okay. And then Eidos Montreal they bought, and that came, and with them Square Enix also sold off the rights to Deus Ex with them.
Okay.
And then they're also the studio that made that Guardians of the Galaxy game that I really, really liked.
Nice.
And I think that's the only reason we might actually get a sequel to that Guardians game, because Square Enix thinks every game is a failure if it doesn't do the same exact sales numbers as Call of Duty. So like
that line of thinking worked out real well for EA.
Yeah, right. Square Enix is honestly one of the worst about it now.
I mean, that's an unfortunate thing that's just happening in all entertainment now, is like movie studios and like TV networks look at any series that doesn't make ungodly amounts of money as a failure, even if the budget's not that high.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, you have to accept like, you know, marginal returns on investment. Like,
well, you also have to look at what genre the thing is you're making. Is it horror? Well, that's going to be a less broadly appealing thing.
But everybody wants to be the next Marvel.
Well, and it's like a lot of studios and just entertainment companies are getting to the point where they don't see value in spending $20 million on a movie and making $60 million. They're just like, oh, it's a waste of time, and it's just leading to like. I
will say that is actually, I think, the reason that there's actually been a kind of a resurgence in the last 2 years or so of actually like a decent amount of really interesting horror coming out, because horror is something that is so kind of almost as inherently needs to be low budget,
right?
And because it's like only people that are really, really into it are even making it because it's going to be low budget in the first place. That there's been some really creative, like, have either of you guys heard the movie Barbarian that came out earlier this year?
Yes.
I don't know much about it.
You should watch it knowing as little as possible.
Okay.
Because it's all like, honestly, I think it's my favorite movie to come out this entire year. I actually think it's my favorite movie of 2022. But I didn't know where the fuck it was going. Like, the entire time, I was genuinely like, and there's just shit that there's some shit I've never seen in any movie before, in particular a horror film. You said you watched
I
it?
haven't
No?
seen it.
Okay.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, I don't want to say more anymore because it really is like a surprise.
But it does seem like Hollywood is leaving these opportunities open for some of these independent studios now that are relatively new. Yeah,
well, I mean that could be a good thing.
A24 and Blumhouse, yeah, those are two big ones.
But they're by abandoning an entire historical segment in Hollywood like that. That used to be a big part of the business model of Hollywood, was that you'd have your blockbusters, but then you'd get these movies that would, they'd have small budgets and they'd triple their budget. And, you spend money on marketing, but at the end of the day, you still pocket, $20, $30 million, and that's a pretty good day. But like now they just see that as a total waste of time. Why not just make a handful of $100 billion budget movies? Which is just stupid, because like when that doesn't work out, it's a fucking disaster and they panic. Like look at Disney now with their I don't even remember the name of their most recent animated movie, but like it absolutely
Strange World.
Yes.
Yeah, that shit
the bed and cost millions and millions of dollars to make, and they're like
that movie. They also like fucking did. It felt like they barely advertised it at all. I think part of that movie, like it seems like it's just not that good. But I think part of it is that I remember seeing one thing for the whole.
I've seen one trailer for it occasionally as a YouTube ad, and that's it.
Yeah, like it's not.
That trailer just told you the entire plot of the movie.
Well, it looks ugly.
It does. It doesn't look. The animation's
it looks like
not
it's
nice
it's that fucking Grubhub commercial. I can't handle
it. Has sort of a corporate-y art style to it.
Yeah, it feels. Yeah, it doesn't feel. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it has a personality.
Yeah,
no. But and it looked. It seems like they're like blaming the backlash on the fact that it was the first Disney movie with like an openly gay.
See, I wouldn't have known that because I didn't fucking see any marketing.
Right, but they were also, I think they were relying on that rather than even advertising. People were like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to see the Disney movie with a gay character in it." But like
Disney's done that like 8 times though too. Where
but Hercules.
But this is like one of the main characters of the movie, which was supposed to be a huge deal or whatever.
But again, I feel like they've said that about like 8 different movies.
Yeah, I know.
Just so they're
it was just Lightyear. Like last year, they were all pissed off that nobody went to see it because like I don't.
That live action remake. Yeah, Lightyear was that wasn't a good example though. That was this year though actually.
Was it this year?
Yeah, that was just the summer.
Oh well, they were already just like, we have like a gay kiss in this, and then when it failed,
then they cut it out in other countries too. So
that wasn't a main character though.
No, see, so everything's got
I think it was one of the main supporting characters though.
Yeah, something like that.
So it was still like a major side character.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a character with a lot.
But they're trying to make every one of these be like a huge event.
Yeah, it's a milestone.
But so then they expect that to make people want to see the movie, and the people are like, "Well, I need more reason to see the movie." Not that the people are like angry.
Well, some people are.
Some people are, but like not that like the vast majority of people who are going to be interested.
No, most people are just like, "All right, what else? Can you tell me something about the characters?"
And then when they think having a gay character is going to sell the entire movie and it doesn't, then they're like, "Oh, nobody saw it because they're bigoted and homophobic," and it's just like, no, the movie just didn't look interesting.
Meanwhile, their fucking marketing people are going, "All right, no more gay characters."
Look how long ago Brokeback Mountain came out and how well that movie did, and how gay that movie is. It's like that movie was very gay, and it did very well. Like everybody loved that.
Or just how many movies now in general have at least one gay character, and it's almost not a defining characteristic of a movie.
Corporations
or that
want
much
to
of an
make
aberration.
Yeah, well, it's like normalizing it, right? That's good, but then they almost don't want it to be normal because they want to be able to make money off of it being this unusual novelty. And that's why when corporations do that, then that's why it feels so hollow, because it feels like they're using the demographic to try and make money.
Right. But it's just like so many movies now have gay characters, which doesn't bother me, but it also just at this point isn't even a selling point for it either.
Right,
like,
right.
It doesn't,
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it's just part of movies now, so you can't just expect like that you can just be like, oh well, this movie has a gay character, so people are going to come and see it,
Right.
even though it looks like a shitty movie. Like,
right.
Well, you know what I want? I want a movie, right? Where it's Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones versus Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator.
I feel like Arnold's in way better shape.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. I mean,
hold on. Also, Patrick Stewart.
Well, see, now you're talking. As
Picard.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I give it a shot.
Opened up the way. We just don't know where to go next.
Can it at least have some of Patrick Stewart's wife's music in it?
Well, I'm going to be the whole soundtrack.
Okay, good. Because, nothing says, like, pure passion for a project and using it as an excuse to pimp your wife's music nobody was going to listen to.
Before I change my mind.
Fuck you, Freya.
Yeah, the central conflict of the movie will be to see how many flights of stairs the Terminator, Indy, and Captain Picard go up.
It's just a montage cutting between all three of them trying to go up.
Or all three of them at the same gym on different Stairmasters, just making intense eye contact with each other and just being like, oh.
Well, Freya didn't kill us.
They're looking over at each other and just pushing the button just to like up the speed. Like,
well, Freya didn't kill us, and we did get that clue from Jormungandr, right? Ironwood.
Yep.
We don't know what that means, but
it means
obviously
it's a
wood
tree.
That's also iron.
There is a tree called an ironwood tree. So
it's like crinkling noise. It's a cat eating something.
They have those crinkle mall toys.
Oh, never be sure with cats.
Oh yeah. No.
The
novelty. Chewed through Nadia's earbuds the other day.
Oh, that's always infuriating. If I told you what a barbarian my sister's cat is.
You talked to me about how its fat ass hangs out of the fridge because it's strong enough to open the fridge.
Yeah, she's got child safety locks on all of her cabinets.
That fucking cat.
The cat can open everything and it will eat anything.
Like it'll just literally open the fridge and start fucking taking food.
So Morgan got him one of those automatic feeders.
And it opened that?
Well, a while ago he opened the automatic feeder, so she had to construct this box. Like, she basically took 2 small pieces of plywood and then some 2x4s and built a box to contain the feeder so that he couldn't knock it over anymore.
Man, when you're having to fucking just do basic workshop shit just to get your cat to fucking...
Well, the cat, so what the cat does is he goes behind the automatic feeder and then grabs the cord from the back and uses that to build up the necessary momentum to slam the thing into the wall as hard as possible, because when you hit the thing really hard, a few pieces of food will drop into the bowl.
So the cat's just trying to fucking hit the thing.
No, the cat is like flinging it around like a mace.
Yeah.
Like he's going behind it, grabbing the cord and then pulling it away from the wall with a cord and then using the cord.
This is a strong fucking cat.
He's huge. He's like 14 pounds.
Cats are smart when it comes to food.
Yep. So he will slam the thing into the wall as hard as possible. Like, Morgan says she'll leave the house sometimes, and like the cat will immediately, as soon as she's not watching him anymore, go and fuck with the feeder, so she can hear him slam it against the wall,
like from outside of
through the door. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he finally, when she was up here last for Thanksgiving, he finally managed to chew through the cord doing this process, which meant that he was not getting
electrocuted?
fed. No, he didn't electrocute himself, but he wasn't being fed because he destroyed the cord that powers his automatic feeder.
Oh my god.
So he was becoming increasingly enraged at the fact that he was hungry.
That's amazing.
And we had my cousins and kind of extended family over at my parents the night before when he broke his
Sindri's got a
heater.
secret.
So he didn't eat the night before, and then he didn't eat in the morning. But he actually didn't bother Morgan that much, which she was surprised by. But it had turned out that he had been surviving on the pizza crust that my cousins had left on the table from the night before. So like, he was
that's why he wasn't hungry.
Yeah, so he wasn't hungry because he was just gnawing on pizza crust. But then when the pizza crust was all gone, he started getting pissed. So she had to buy him a new automatic heater.
Jesus.
Which I suggested she get the one I have for scones because it's battery powered, so he wouldn't have a cord to chew through anymore.
You'll find some
flail.
Well, but it's also Morgan's thinking she'll have to build a new box for it because it's also
a different size.
Less like Scones has never done anything with her feeder,
right?
Because she's just not that type of cat, and she's kind of
Brock
small,
died.
so it's not. Brock died?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Sindri went to get his, and Sindri brought him back. That's also explains
So he's
why
missing
he's
part
so
of his
germophobic and like talking about shit crawling on him because he can feel all the souls in the lake.
Damn, that's messed up.
He has a right to know.
So Brock is missing part of his soul because he was brought back incomplete.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing.
It's kind of so it's like hardcore for Sindri of all the characters to have been like crawling into the lake of souls.
Yeah, that is kind of.
Do you think the soul's pissed in the lake?
Probably, yeah.
The
I bet
soul's
they do.
pissed?
Well, I guess I mean
Depends on the mythology.
that's true. Because sometimes they definitely do.
Wait, there's mythology where the souls specifically take a leak?
You did a good thing.
Nah,
You saved Brock's life.
I'm not.
I'm sure in Egyptian mythology they talk about ghosts piss at their spirits, like pissing off the sides of things.
I'm not the most versed in mythology, so I'm not challenging you guys or anything. I
In
just
some
I'm
versions of
surprised
Christian
that
mythology, like angels and demons take vessels.
Really?
Dwarves,
Yeah.
when they saw him,
Huh.
shunned us.
Like usually like pop culture
So we
stuff.
left.
But
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were saying, like, in the Bible.
No, I don't think it's in the Bible.
Yeah, I was going to
And
say.
lo, the
I've
seraph
only-
came down from on high
I've
and
only
gave a
read the-
golden shower upon,
Zeus parted the skies and dangled his cockage.
I've only read the Bible in its entirety once, and it's been a long time, so, but I definitely
read
don't
the whole
remember.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like it was important
I read it
enough
once,
to,
too.
to have read one a whole time, just as the foundational document. And,
I read it because I wanted to have ammunition if someone ever tried to argue with me about it. Just so I would
don't know.
be like, hey, no.
I've read several holy books. I've never read the Quran, but
I've skimmed
read
the Bible and I've skimmed the Quran. It was actually pretty funny because I remember the first time I looked at a Quran, I flipped open to a random page, and the first thing I got to was a fucking scripture about terrorizing the infidels.
Just wanted to
hang on.
Yeah, no, I haven't read the Quran. I've read the Bhagavad Gita. I read the
No,
Tibetan-
Tyr's a
the
failure.
Tibetan Book of the Dead.
That's not nothing. And hey,
I mean, we didn't fail, but Tyr is a failure. Like that's.
Tibetan Book of the Dead is a really weird one.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's literally a guide to death and like what it's like to die, and
like
then
death
what
for
you're
dummies?
supposed to do. It talks about like
Maybe you should get How to Hide My Glaring Lack of Knowledge from My Friends for Dummies.
But it's really interesting because it talks, it specifically throughout will talk about like, and then you'll see this god, and this is how the god looks, and the gods are like always holding like they'll be like holding the torso of a human being or whatever, or like drinking from a skull full of blood. But then it's also like, remember, these are all visions inside of your head, and that none of this is real. Like, don't be afraid. And that's kind of interesting. For a mythological work to be like, listen, all of this is metaphor, and all of these are things that are going through your mind as you're dying. Like, none of this is real.
I could eat.
Is that
everyone as well
But
rested as I
the
am?
Tibetan Book of the Dead, you're supposed to read over the body of a dying person or even a dead body, but you're supposed to be like, it's supposed to guide you.
You have to smell that the whole time you're trying to read. So
I guess so. It's quite long, too. I couldn't imagine having to read the
For
entire thing
every
in front of
person
a
that
corpse.
dies. Well, and also for every person that dies. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
how was their literacy rate in ancient Tibet?
Remember food.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I suppose you'd like to try cooking for this lot.
I accept.
What?
I don't know.
Atreus, who are planning our next move.
Oh, so where are we going?
Alpha.
It's always interesting in Eastern mythology and culture how
Like, Kratos hates Alpha. Like, he just has strong feelings about it in general. Wow.
just because it's so sunny and
Father
bright
tells me
and
you found
happy.
Roa?
Well, that's one of the realms that we did see in the first game.
Right, and it was pretty fucked up when we went in the first game because the Dark Elves were killing all the Light Elves. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, those fucking wind fucks.
I wasn't sure you
I mean, the place was quite beautiful and, like, obviously should have been a pretty happy.
Does Kratos? Are there places he doesn't hate though? I guess I wonder. Does he like?
That is a good question.
Are there places that he likes or even less?
He definitely speaks fondly of Sparta, you know, like throughout the first games. And how much he enjoyed their Spartan warrior culture and their kind of
And of all the places to enjoy,
lack of pleasures to be had and just like the hard coldness of the society. So I suppose he'd like anywhere like
really
that.
up for coming with
I am. Whenever you're ready.
and one of these days Kratos just needs to like loosen up and like go to Key West or some shit.
My counsel might help you towards the answers you seek.
That would be so funny. Just like him in a Hawaiian shirt, and then it's like Montego, Key Largo, baby, why don't we go?
Yeah, this is an awkward fucking dinner.
I feel like any dinner with Kratos is going to be awkward.
I definitely. The only person at this table that's really capable of carrying on an interesting conversation is Mimir's head.
Why doesn't he have any food?
I don't. I mean, wouldn't it just come out of his neck?
Yeah, it would just kind of pile up underneath them.
Well,
Probably.
maybe he likes the taste. You put him in the bowl, and he just like sort of mops up the soup.
Stews in there.
Yeah.
I'm drowning in soup.
Even without feet, you'll forgive the levity.
I always love how anytime, and it's just like a Hollywood trope at this point, but it's like, you know how like, I mean, there are more and more recently, like, that when they do Nazis, they get people with the German accent, but for a long time they would just...
Or random scientists that don't make sense to be Nazis in the Spider-Man movies.
But they used to get just English actors with, like, really posh accents to play the Nazis. I think it's so interesting. Anytime you have, like,
Star Wars.
Vikings... Yeah. Anytime you have Vikings, they're just like, just get some Scottish people.
Yep.
Like, and it's like, that's not what Scandinavians sound like at all. Like,
Well, they probably figured actual Scandinavians wouldn't sound badass enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Gerard Butler was also supposed to be Egyptian.
Well, that
movie didn't try.
That
at
was
all.
just a total... That's not a convention. That was just like, I don't give a shit what they sound like.
Oh yeah, they didn't give a shit when they made that movie.
That movie was
it's
just
become-
a raised middle finger to Egypt itself.
But it's become like Hollywood convention to just cast Scottish people as Vikings.
That is weird.
Which, yeah, Scandinavians, they don't sound like that.
Nope.
Scandinavians don't actually sound very intimidating for the most part.
No,
That's why they had to
sound
become
kind of
Danes, so
funny,
people would
actually.
finally be like respectful of them.
Like, short of... I mean, like, Scandinavians can sound intimidating as, like, kind of these intellectual, like, Bond villain-esque characters.
Yeah,
Like, Sherlock
yeah.
did that really well with Magnuson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen's brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, that character was super intimidating, but it was because here's this super intelligent, modern person with all this power, kind of Bond villain-esque.
Now I'm just imagining
But, like,
a Swedish chef as a Bond villain.
You guys know a hurdy-gurdy's an instrument, right?
I didn't know that.
That's so fucking weird. It's like it's like
I'm
kind of
fucking
like
confused,
a loop
Kratos.
Wow, I wasn't
Is this
expecting it to be a
squirrel?
furry.
That's Ratatoskr.
Yeah, this is like some Redwall shit.
This is like,
That's a real creature from Norse mythology.
Was he always a Zootopia character?
I mean, he's always a little squirrel man. Yeah.
Well, you know those Redwall.
A squirrel man or a squirrel?
I'm pretty sure even in Norse mythology, he's like a squirrel man. He's like a talking character.
Well, yeah, but he could be a talking squirrel as opposed to a squirrel man.
If you're Ratatoskr,
He wears clothes, I think. I think he.
It's a long story.
I'm not up on my squirrel lore.
I mean, I'm not an expert, but
I just live with him.
Ratatoskr is merely one of my spectral aspects, and a particularly nasty one at that. I consider him so far removed from myself that he's practically.
But you know those Redwall books.
I do,
And that kind of stuff. That's
fantasy.
100, yeah, where it's just like it's fantasy. Or is it even really fantasy, or is it more just kind of medieval, but with animals?
I always assumed it was sort of a low magic sort of thing.
Okay.
I feel like if the animals are talking, it's fantasy or magical to some degree, right? I mean, like.
But it's like any number of like stories.
Right.
Anthropomorphized animals, and there are no people. Or
well, right, because I mean,
it's sort of like how Zootopia is technically kind of a sci-fi rather than.
That's fair.
Story.
Yeah, sure.
On my tree.
your tree, huh?
Yes, my tree. Here.
Because Needhog's at the bottom, right, and she's on the roots, and he in Ratatoskr it keeps the branches.
Okay.
And yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he's Needhog's opposite.
Okay.
So that's why good Master Brock needed an Alpine seed. Clearly you have important matters afoot. That seed you found unlocks Niflheim of all places, a realm as ancient as
You guys,
stately.
well, let's see. It's 9:17 right now.
We don't have enough time to go Niflheim and Niflheim.
Well, actually, I think we should do that because, well, I'll just see it. I guess we'll go there first.
Probably best for Tyr to wait for us here.
Yeah, we'll check out Niflheim real quick and then.
Odin and Thor, and all the bad things they've done.
I guess, yeah, I
So many
don't.
we can remember. Seems like Father could use his memory refreshed.
My memory of them requires no refreshment. They invaded our home.
Yeah.
I do like Kratos with the squirrel crawling around him, though, going, what is happening?
Now I just want to see
That was
Kratos.
something I didn't expect to see.
Now I just want to see Kratos at a Burcon.
God.
Just the look he'd be giving everyone.
So this little room, this is like a training thing. Get experience points from it, but it's just this is like the game's practice arena.
That would be so funny
Odin's ravens?
to see Kratos at the furry convention. Be like, you, young man, I see you are half human, half sexy rabbit. They're free of Odin's control.
Yeah.
But there's definitely something more.
Right, yeah, they're actually enslaved, and we're all in the last game and this one. All the ravens you destroy they're freeing their spirits.
Oh, interesting.
And then in the last game, I don't think they actually did anything. I think you just got them to get them as a collectible. But here, you get 6 of them. You open that chest.
Okay.
You open 12. You get 12. You open that. So there's actually rewards for getting them in this one.
Nice.
So how do you think PETA feels about chopping a raven in half to free it from Odin's control?
Well, it's like a spirit raven. That's not even a lot. Well, PETA definitely doesn't like this game.
PETA gives a shit about these days.
Well, I know they give a shit about splashing oil on paintings or whatever. But...
Yeah. Well, and that's climate change.
Oh, was
isn't
it?
Yeah, that's
I could never
stop.
keep these
That's that
idiots
stop oil thing or whatever. You see, they glued themselves to a bunch of Ferraris.
I did see that. Yeah.
Dumb
shit.
Shit smells the same regardless of how it got shat.
I do.
Words to live by.
I love Brock. He's just so profane.
But yeah, I don't know what those stop oil protesters are hoping to accomplish. Couldn't tell you.
No, they're fucking throwing soup on paintings and...
Whatever, man.
I think they should have left those people glued to that wall until they had to poop in front of other people, and then they would have learned that they should never do it again.
I don't know, wasn't that in Germany? They might have been into it.
Oh, God, yeah, that would have just been a more attractive art installation there.
Yeah, they probably would have left their shit stains on the wall and been like, here's the real art.
Without any honest Valkyries around to stand in his way.
So yeah, Odin's not supposed to have access to the Einherjar soldiers until Ragnarok happens. But he's found some way to like jailbreak Valhalla. Alright, we'll teleport to Alfheim here, and then we'll
Tyr's such a whiny motherfucker, dude.
So is Alfheim the place where Alf comes from?
Yes, it is, in fact.
He sounds like, what's the robot's name from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
He sounds like the depressed robot.
Yeah,
Marvin.
that's what he sounds like.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, that's honestly...
Well, literally, we walked
accurate.
through the door, and he's like, I knew you guys hadn't forgotten me. Like, dude, come on, man.
Brain the size of a planet, and I'm trapped on Midgar.
We sought to fill our Bifrost, and they attacked us.
The Dark Elves were covering it with their sticky hive stuff. When we freed it, Light Elves came back. They seemed better in Alpha.
Did they now?
Are they going to be able to Bruce Willis people that are already dead? Like, does the family...
He stole his likeness.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. But does the family of, like, Marlon Brando or Alan Rickman have, like, the right to sell their likeness after they're dead? Or is that something you have to do personally?
I feel like
you have... Like,
you should have to do it personally.
But you're like the
who knows?
executor. You're the executor of, like, dead people's
Well, how did they
fate, and you
get
still have
the
control
rights
over,
to
like, people's IP and stuff like
I'm
that?
not sure where the temple is from here.
Well, how did they get the? Well, they had to get the rights when they did Rogue One to fucking do.
Fisher?
No, she was still alive.
Oh yeah.
And then even when she died, it was like footage that
Was
they'd
it,
already.
you talking about Grand Moff Tarkin?
Yeah. Grand Moff Tarkin when they made Rogue One, the CGI Grand Moff
Tarkin. Like I wouldn't have expected.
Because he died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Peter something, right? Peter something. No.
I don't know his name.
Clearly not.
I don't know his name, but I know you're. Yeah. Peter's, I was going to say Sutcliffe,
Parker?
but I think that's a serial killer.
Grand modular sectional. I'm looking for Grand Moff Tarkin.
Dude, so you know how I sent, like, when we were making those Dial of Destiny jokes, I sent that picture of Dial soap?
Yeah.
Do you know now that Google is so greedy that if you Google something and then, like, you image search something through Google, if it's something you can buy, it's still just product ads, and you can't...
Peter Cushing?
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing,
Yeah, he's got more cushion for the push now.
But, like, even image search, if it's something you can buy, it's basically just the Google shop results still. And it's like, and you can't get, and then you can't get the images the way you used to be able to get the images from Google image search, because you click on it and it brings you to the web page of the product or whatever, and you can't, like, just get, like, the image anymore and, like, download the, like, high resolution larger one. You have to go to the product page and, like, so it actually took me a decent amount of work to find, like, a good image of Dial soap, and I was like, dude, Google gets less and less useful every year. Because and not Google, like when we were in high school, I could Google something, and, like, I knew how to word things in Google or whatever, but I could find exactly what I wanted through Google,
pretty easily.
No problem. Now I Google something, and it,
you get all kinds of ads.
However tangential it may be, it will return the result for what I Googled that I can purchase. Not what I'm looking for.
See, I can't wait for it's not just
of it I
products. It's if you Google anything. Like, if you were to Google image search with, like, bed bugs, then Google is like, you want to buy a tub of bed bugs for $5?
Yeah, it probably is going to get to the point where if you Google image search bed bugs, you're just going to get a ton of images of, like, bed bug repellent or just whatever the product is that's related to what you searched for. So Google's becoming borderline useless now.
How often do you Google image search Gnomes?
Never.
You sure?
Yeah, never.
I think never means all the time.
No, I mean...
You are more knowledgeable about gnome sales trends than anyone else I know.
That's because I go in the store and I see them, and you guys have both agreed with me.
Do you think he puts his gnome costume on like Sailor Moon?
He's got an anime montage and everything.
It's not just me. Like earlier, you were like, the gnomes are following you around, but both of you guys have agreed.
No, we've seen them.
Oh, right, the gnomes are everywhere.
Yeah,
I just think it's your anger towards them that's causing it.
You're the first to notice.
You are always the first one to notice.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, me or Sage, we'll walk into a store and be like, oh, there's a lot more gnomes than usual, but you were like, I gotta write this down, I gotta know where the gnomes are in every fucking part of the city.
I mean, I don't do that, but I probably do take more notice.
Man, I've seen your flowcharts.
I probably do take more note. Like, I will see a gnome and just be like, God damn it. Like, especially when it's at a store I haven't seen gnomes before, like, I take note of that. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, Aldi. Like, I was like, why are there gnomes at the grocery store?
Their commercials are all about gnomes.
I know.
They're talking about their gnome-sized prices.
The gnome is the mascot of all.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's straight up.
I'm aware.
You've been in that store before.
Yeah. You've bought gnomes. You have gnomes from that store.
I like that store.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a pretty good
Not anymore,
store.
though.
Yeah, now we just go to Trader Joe's.
Well, just wait until it becomes Trader Gnomes.
Yeah, Trader Gnomes, man.
I'm sure
gonna happen.
It will, dude. I'm sure it will.
All right, and the raid was off automatically.
Go to Trader Joe's because it's close to the house. But
have a good night, everybody.
Aldi's also close to the house, but we haven't.
But gnomes are closer
to the gnomes.